Hello, friends. Hope anybody fucking watches this from the beginning there, like the replay. Hilarious. Fuck sakes. Hello. Do I have any friends? There's nobody in the room right now, so not a fucking soul has heard me say that. If you're the first person, let me know. Like, didn't even get the show started yet. Didn't get to the toad venom or nothing. Need like a 7 hour fucking episode. This is a cat-free grow. Wow. Fuck, that is strong. My God. What's up, Harry? Stone? Stefano Hunter? What's up, bro? Silent man. Oof. Fuck, that's strong. That was from the Il Gangier. It was a tester that came with some strawberry milkshakes. Ooh. That was strawberry banana from DNA Genetics crossed to Trop Cherry. The buds were very small. They didn't fucking dry well. They dried out too dry, too fast. And but it had a really good stink to it. Very pungent, and I don't know how to describe it. It smells like ass for sure. Cheers, Marshall. But it was like so pungent that I had to, I knew it was kind of worth something there. I'm like, well, fuck, shit for flour, terrible for flour. So I fucking put some in the freezer and I squished some flour in the rosin press. And holy fucking terrible return. I got fucking a gram out of 10% return. Wasn't too happy till I opened the fucking jar. Man, it smells so fucking good. Like amazing. Did I not send the link out there? Oh, jeez. A terrible host. Waiting for all my friends to show up and I didn't even put the fucking. Bam! What do you mean bedtime, Marshall? You're the king of staying up late. It's supposed to be like just getting started here. Like, didn't you just wake up 2 hours ago? So, anyways, I was disappointed with the yield until I smelled it. And then I fucking smoked it, and it's like the smallest dab gets me like that ice cream headache, like stomp you out, like fucking cannabinoids receptors like filled to the max, like ow, it kind of hurts just from a small dab. So now the only morsel of fucking plant material that I have left of this fucking specimen is in one of these test tubes. Somewhere in one of these test tubes. Okay, here it is. So, farming season. Fucking A, bro. What are you farming, Marshall? So, here's my strawberry banana Tropicana. This is the only piece of living material I have left. Came from Mary Stem. There it is. That little tiny wisp. There's not much left of this thing, man, and it's just like there's it's tiny. Like, I hope this thing survives because I want that plant back. Yo, Burnsy boy. Jump on, homie. Fucking fire up that fucking ice fire. I fired the link out there. It's up the way. Fuzzy, the fuck in here, bro. I'm 9/10 of a bottle of wedding wine deep here. Where's your tall cans? Okay, so I fucking had a like a plane crash of a no fucking nose dabs. Fuzzy, you get in here and start the nose dabs. You start the nose dabs and I'll think about it there. That fucking dab smashed me real good there. J5, what's up, bro? Link's up there. If none of y'all want to be on the show there, I'll learn how to delete these things so we can hang out. It's not a show, it's a fucking lounge, man. Puff Tough is a lounge for all us fucking dope smoking fucking fanatics. But yeah, I'd like that Tropicana back. It was good. It's terrible return, but I think it'd be a good washer. Batter. Oh, yo, bro, what's up?
What's up, dude? I was like, fuck it, I'll go on with homie. I'll sit there and smoke with him.
Yeah, fucking right, bro. How's the grow going?
Fucking great. Everything's coming out nice and fucking.
Hell yeah. I don't know if you showed your plants when I was wandering around my garden and like doing work there while that episode was playing, so I don't know if I don't think I seen your plants at all, but
No, I didn't really show them too much, so.
Okay.
I just showed the Adelong on that one pretty much.
Okay, yeah. How's that coming along there? Is it's a long way from flower yet?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna go till at least November. You know,
so it's like a longer flowering kind of varietal.
Definitely, you can tell that with just the leaf structure, you know how it's growing, the rapid growth rate of its its internodal spacing, like it's gonna go long. Even if it only goes into late October, it's gonna go late for sure.
Hell yeah! So, did you like? I haven't been following too closely. Like that's like one of the shows I put on when I'm working all the time. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like I always miss big chunks because it's, you know what I mean? And then it's like, how do you find that little piece that you missed every time when you go to rewatch? Yeah, it's like, fuck sakes.
So, yeah, you got to rewatch the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, man. And some of those episodes go like fucking hours and hours long. So it's like, you never catch that fucking little tidbit again. But like, how much diversity is there in these seeds? Like, are they fairly uniform, or are you getting a good diversity?
No, well, so because I just took the one over from Levi, right? But I with me, because I'm a breeder, like I'll go back and I'll look at a bunch of other stuff that other people are growing. You know what I mean? And going back over the last 2 years and seeing the diversity in people's plants, like there is a plethora of diversity in that batch of seeds that they put out.
Like, yeah, you'd have to imagine that even though it's a land race and it's been bred for that long, like the fucking fields are just like phenomenally huge. Fuzzy, you not add yourself, you fucker?
Hell yeah.
I was coming in respectful. Sorry, you guys were talking.
Yeah, well, and then,
bro, this ain't no show, man. This is the FCP lounge. I made this shit for all of us fuckers, man. You just bust in here like you own the bitch.
Well, and then Zome, and then Eloise was going on about, how they got those seeds from different areas, but so they're gonna show different. Oh, that's awesome. That is
That's a
awesome.
fucking sick bug.
So there's gonna be diversity in them, but like I see that there's a lot more diversity than the simple indica sativa argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nice to get back to those landrace strains and see what all they had to offer before they started, getting picked apart.
Hell yeah. Definitely. Well, when I worked at Crimean Peninsula, that like the terpene profile that came off that was like nothing I've ever smelled before. It was completely unique, and it like it carried for a long ways. Like my buddy who lives like across the street, but like 3 or 4 houses down. He's like, I could smell that shit from my fucking driveway, man. He's like, what the fuck are you growing in there?
Oh yeah.
But like the flower was terrible, man. It didn't it didn't have a high THC content because it just went really land racy. It was probably like really high CBD or something there, but it wasn't like it didn't have that punch that I'm looking for when I take a big bong toke. So it wasn't something that I kept working, but it's something that I want to take like the flowering traits from and breed with.
And that's another thing that Ryan was mentioning. It's nice to like get the COA, like not necessarily so that you know it for commercial purposes, but just so that you know what's in the plant. Like for me, growing stuff medically, getting the COA is more about what is in there, so that way I can know what's working for that patient. So if I don't have that plant next year, I can find a plant that has the similar stuff, to do for that patient.
Yeah. Fuck, it's a lot of work to do a fucking pheno hunt though, eh? Like, man, that's months and months. Like,
dude, each time I like actually do a real pheno hunt and I go ham for it, and I do the 200 to 300 seeds, man.
That's a lot of work, dude. I do 50, like, and I'm like 50 is a lot of work, like I don't want to keep that many clones alive that long. And I'm not like, I don't really like re-vegging in my beds because I want them to kind of like, I want to keep on trucking, so it's, like I'm like 50's pretty good there. Like I'll fucking cut 20, 25, female clones and hold on to them, and you know what I mean? Like kill off the males, and like, so that's like a tray or 2 trays every second pod, like, that's comfortable, man. I'll look after that shit. I don't want to look after 300 fucking, like.
Yeah, I re-veg. I'd pop a
Well,
bunch.
I'll always wind up whittling down to like 25 out of that 300 when I started out. You know what I mean? Like I'll whittle down to the best 25 out of the bunch, and it's just because of spacing. But if I had, to be honest, if I had the space and I had the room, I'm betting I would probably go too hard with it, and and go for 300 different phenos at a time just to see,
But like, how many cuts of each plant do you take? Like you get carried away after a little while. You're like, holy fuck, man, that's a lot of clones there. So me, I'm like, I'm gonna take a whole bunch of clippings. I'm gonna take the 2 healthiest cuttings, and that's it. If I don't get them, I don't fucking get them.
Yeah. Yeah, and if they don't make it in clone, like fuck it, I guess they weren't supposed to stay.
That's this one. Number 6. She didn't, but man, was it fucking pretty. It grew through the lights. It was frosty. It was fast. It didn't you didn't have to trim it. It was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's got like a natural foxtail to it there. It's not like a side effect of the light. It was just the way the bud grew. It was very aesthetically pleasing. I thought it was really pretty, like I like I like looking at it. It wasn't like an ugly foxtail, like you know what I mean. It was just like
No,
that's the way the bud grew. You know, it
I
was a
can-
nice
Yeah.
fucking plant.
I can show you an ugly one here in a little bit. It's the most glorious foxtail I've ever seen. It's legit. It's a tail. Just a single sprout off the top of that bud, like an inch and a half long.
Corey, what are you doing? You fuck, get in here.
No, I don't hate foxtails either. Like that's probably easy trimming, bud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I imagine it would just clean right off.
Nesman and Corey report to the stage.
I timed out Corey during Rick's show. I thought that was pretty good. I had a little chuckle over here. I was scrolling up to see if anybody had a gray wrench. I'm like, oh, there's Corey.
I missed? I wasn't paying too much attention to chat there. I was fucking, I don't know. I've been drinking wine.
He said hi. I was wishing everybody a good day and all that.
Okay. Oh yeah, Rick pulled it up there. I seen that.
What, the timeout?
I don't know what the timeout was. I missed that part.
Oh yeah. I timed him out way after the fact. I was just scrolling through
awesome.
chat and saw him. I was like, yeah, I'm getting him.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
I thought he should know because he didn't even know. It doesn't tell you when you get timed out.
No.
So, you guys ever make fucking weed gummies? Is this the same shit that you sprinkle on them? Citric acid powder?
Yeah.
Yeah. Eh? Okay, so this is going to be a good multi-purpose tool here because I bought it to like make my own like lost close plant therapy stuff there. Because I made JWA and like I ended up with like fucking like 24 liters of fucking like this fucking soap oil here.
Hell yeah.
So I'm like, and it's not that effective as just like a suffocator by itself, you know, like the Lost Coast is so much better. So I want to make my own using the JWA because I got 24 liters of it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like citric acid, and I got peppermint oil, and there's rubbing alcohol in here. So like for the past 3 days, I've been trying to remember to like mix this up and spray it on this male plant I'm holding on to.
Is that all this?
I don't know if Lost Coast uses 91%, 99%, or 73%. The 73% is actually has better use than the 99% in application for application purposes.
Well,
you'd be able to math that out based on what, because I'm pretty sure their bottle lists the percentage of alcohol that's in there, and then you just got to do the volume conversion.
Yeah, but it says inert ingredients: isopropyl, soap, water, sodium citrate, and then it gives you a 61%.
Yeah.
So that's 61% of the mixture is a guess.
Okay.
So what they do give you is soybean oil, 38%, peppermint oil, 0.5%, and citric acid is 0.25%. So the other 61.25 is a guess.
I would venture to guess the majority of that is going to be your water, obviously, because they don't have to list that as an active ingredient, but they still have to list it under the percentage of ingredients. So I would assume that you're probably like at 1 to 2% alcohol, but it's what type of alcohol did they use?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good point. But I heard people using Lost Coast plant therapy and then an additional 91% alcohol and like using them like shot for shot as like an extra to kill spider mites and shit, because this will kill like the aphids and shit, but it doesn't get rid of the thrips or the spider mites.
Well, and even at that, if you got a really, really like resistant aphid, that's developed a harder body, the only way to get through that is with a more penetrative alcohol, or a higher percentage.
How strong do you mix your Lost Coast? Do you just go gallon shot per gallon or two? Because for a couple situations, I think they says on two shots per gallon, 60 mils.
Yeah, I use it strong when I'm killing things.
Yeah.
I found you have to be consistent too. If you're going after thrips, you got to spray 5 days in a row.
That's probably it there, because like it was saying like spray every.
I think three for 3 to 5 days in a row, and then once weekly. I'm pretty sure.
So what I was doing is, instead of spraying every day, like I would spray at night, and then I would spray. Yeah, so I'd spray in the morning, and then I would spray the following night. So it'd be more like 36 hours in between applications. That's how I was trying to like cheat a little bit to make it like a longer duration. But like I could see like doing like 5 applications instead of 3 would be definitely more beneficial. But it's like, I think that I've had thrips and spider mites for so fucking long that they're just all over my garage, because it's just a dirty old garage that I grow in with fucking Pandafilm all over it. What's up, Green?
Yeah.
So,
behind the film and crevices and shit.
Yeah, so
I just have a little
clean the fucker, but
hell yeah, clean everything out, set off a Dr. Doom, and then reset.
Yeah, fucking fumigation would be a good call too, eh?
I'm dealing with a couple thrips right now.
Yeah, they've been getting progressively worse, maybe because I've been trying to kill them there, but like before, when I used to ignore them, it used to be like better, I think.
They almost monitor themselves and keep themselves to one certain area if you don't force them to move. But when you're in there messing around, it's like you're forcing them to move around. So they're like, fuck it, we're going to find more spots then.
You know what's fucking crazy though? And I've been trying to figure this out, and I've been trying to, like, Corey's been kind of helping me out a little bit there, and like it's definitely something to do with my environment in this building. But when I take my plants that are all chewed up by thrips and bring them and put them outside, they grow completely healthy with no pests. After like a few sets of leaves, I pick off the old leaves, and it's like they were never infested. And Corey's like, "What makes you think you haven't infested?" It's like, because I do, man. I don't know what to tell you. I brought them outside. It's gone. Like,
yeah. Well, and then you're also when you're spraying, you got to figure you're spraying so those beneficial insects aren't going to be inside. So you have nothing eating the larvae. You have nothing fighting against it inside besides what you're spraying. So outside, you got like positive pest pressure out there that's eating those negative pests that you just can't see.
That's what happened though, because I used to order beneficials every couple cycles, and then I won this bottle of plant therapy there, and I'm just like, okay, fuck the beneficials. I want to see what spraying throughout veg does, and then stopping at day 10 and just letting it go. And that's what I've been doing since last year when I won this bottle, because fuck it, because you know what I mean? Like I grow enough flower to like support myself that I can like experiment, right? So I do a lot of weird experiments.
You're in beds indoors, right?
Yeah.
What's happening to your predators? They just don't have anything to eat on? Because
I think I killed them with this.
Yeah. The alcohol in the Lost Coast will kill off your hard-bodied predators if you continue to spray them.
I don't see no more crazy mites in here. I used to have crazy mites fucking everywhere, man. My buddy was getting them at his place, and he's like across some fucking street and a few houses down. It's like, fuck, man, I'm finding these things at my house. Those crazy mites are awesome. But yeah, like I don't see them no more, and so it's like I don't know, man. Like it's hard to dial in an artificial environment with outdoor materials. That's for damn sure. But I've been smoking for free for 3 years, so it's like, yeah, I've been dealing with the chewed up leaves, you know.
Yeah.
You're not spraying the soil, are you? You're just doing foliars?
Yeah, just the foliars, but.
What do you use as a cover crop or mulch layer?
Oh man, there was everything in there. Like I had a fucking seed blend cover crop, and then I'd throw all my fucking vegetable seeds in there at the end of the year too. But it's like now I'm like, okay, I'm over the living soil thing inside. I'm gonna go. What's up, Tim? So I'm going back to. Go back to amendments.
Oh yeah.
What's it got in it?
Oh shit. Well, let me come back with the bag. What do we got? Okay, so this one is the blue mix. It's got insect frass, bone meal, bone ash, soft rock phosphate, volcaniphos rock, basalt rock, sulfate of potash, langbonite, gypsum, fish bone, and biochar. And
such a multi-purpose. Oh yeah.
Heavy minerals.
This one is the blue mix, and the all-purpose. The only difference is it has blood meal added and feather meal added to make it a 444.
Yep.
And this is from Black Swallow Living Soils, and on Canada's side there, this is like the equivalent to like a Build-A-Soil.
Okay.
Yeah.
That surprised me with the burnt bone. I've never heard of the burnt bone before. Bone ash.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's like the water soluble calcium phosphate, where you burn a bone and or something like a KNF input.
Yeah.
I've seen people put them in the oven. I think it helps it break down faster, become available quicker.
Yeah, it also adds a little carbon in there too.
So I got this. I heard you guys. This is why I jumped on it. I got this Lost Coast right here, right? And I wasn't too sure about it. This like just came in a package with some stuff, and I think it came from Levi. To tell you the truth, I think this was in the package.
I put it in there.
What's up? Thank you, brother. So
yeah, I put it in there.
I have a little bit of a pest pressure that is kind of common here in Vegas. So black flies, little white flies. And I've sprayed the BT and lactic acid bacteria and stuff, and not too concerned about the caterpillars. I fight them pretty well, but this fucking black fly problem is somehow exaggerated here at my new garden. You know, because I moved from an old garden where I had them, but I think it's because I had a lot of fucking trap plants, and they were going elsewhere. You know, because they like them better. But now they're like, I don't have that many trap plants, and they're in my garden, and they're on the bottom leaves of my cannabis now. So I took the Lost Coast, and I fucking, followed little directions and gave them a foliar spray. They're all still in veg. Now the ones inside in flower have a little bit of a problem. So I'm like, oh fuck, man, how do I cope with this? I'm gonna harvest 2 of them in the next 10 days, but I got a little bit of a black fly problem indoors on my fire garden, and I'm talking about like 10 days to 2 weeks harvest.
Well, I will say this about the Lost Coast. I sprayed this on some of my seeded plants because I wasn't planning on smoking them, and it made the bud material turn brown and die. So I would not recommend spraying it on anything in flower.
No. I mean, I'll use Lost Coast up until about week 3 of flower. But once my buds start actually bracketing up and start building, I stop spraying pretty much everything. There's very few things that I will spray in flower, and that's only when it's necessary. And usually it's like Dr. Zymes, because, I've had a flower tested with, having to spray it after Dr. Zymes, and it tested clear. So I'm okay. I will willfully use that stuff because I know it will test clean. And Organoshield. Dr. Zymes is a bacteria, and then Organoshield is I believe it's a sucrose ester. So it's a sugar, essentially, that is designed to deter pests. And so that, like, out of everything I've tried, and I've tried a lot of different things, Organoshield is the best in flower by far.
That looks good, Tim. What is that?
It's some full spectrum distillate. Ryan Kofer gave me I think it was 96 grams of some full spectrum CBD distillate that failed for too much THC in his Arizona market. So it had 3% THC, and then all the other whatever else, thiols, esters, cannabinoids, whatever. But it was 78% CBD and almost 3% THC. So it was too high, and it was like stuff they were going to throw out. And so they had it tested and tested clean. And I got the COA. And then when they gave it to the certified ganjier dude that gave it to me, which is Sean Douglas, gave it to Ryan Kofer. They're both certified dudes, and brought it to me in Vegas. Well, they got it tested again, and it was still clean, no infections, no bullshit, mold or whatever. And hitting on the COA the same exact as the Dispo had it tested at, or the producer had it tested at. It's really good. We call it cocaine honey. It is a straight uplift. It's like, woo.
I tell ya.
I put it on top of my flower,
So I was kind of thinking about spraying things on plants in early flower.
Spray pack.
It's like, well, just anything at all. Spray pack chicken. But when it's just a tuft of pistils and there's no calyx formed yet, I feel like even when that bud rubs up against a fan leaf and those pistils turn brown, it's even that I feel affects the growth of that bud. So anything spraying on there, I feel is kind of hindering the growth pattern of the way that flower wants to form.
That's actually necrosis. When those hairs start turning red or brown like that, they're dying. That's necrosis, and it's oxidizing.
Right? Not good.
No, I don't want that on my bud if I can help it. It's like if I'm gonna do a finger rub on a bud, it's gonna be one of those little bottom buds I'm gonna trim off and smoke as a tester bud later. I'm not gonna be fingering around toward my top colas or anything.
Just go around, and I mean, most plants will have those nice trichomy sugar leaves, even on the really light sugar, really light trichomy plants. You still have some sugar leaves on there. Take that sugar leaf, rub that trichome off that sugar leaf. It's gonna come back on that sugar leaf, but you're gonna get the same profile. You don't have to rub the buds. Yeah. There's plenty of leaf matter on there with that stuff.
Yeah, true that. No, that's a good tip. I there was another tip too. There was just rip off the little tiny bud that you're gonna smell. Just rip it off now. You're gonna cut it off and throw it the fuck away anyway.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Instead of going to get an alcohol and a scissors, I'll just grab the bud and pop it off the plant because I like that wound better than the scissors. Some metal foreign object has fucking penetrated the plant skin.
True that.
Imagine the bacteria that's on that pair of scissors. Imagine the fungi that's on those scissors, Whereas on your hand,
dude, I've been fucking thinking about when I pinch leaves off with my dirty fingernail that I've been digging in the ground with. You know, like I'm over here fucking training something there, and then I'm like picking weeds, and now I'm fucking into the greenhouse, and I'm like fucking
Popping a
plant
plant.
leaves. You know, like no rhyme or reason to the madness there. Just fucking.
But I feel like with that kind of organic fucking connection with all the plants and the soil and everything, I've never had a problem, not once. And my hands are dirty in the garden, and I'll fucking top a plant right there with my dirty thumbnail, and kind of fucking with my whole garden. Like it's kind of like its immune system's used to that soil anyway. But no, I don't want to go like digging in the compost pile or getting some funky shit on my hand and do that. But right there in the garden, I feel like I'm cool.
I have heard that it's better to have a dirty hand than to have like a clean hand with your oil and whatever pH your skin is.
Interesting.
I saw somebody that was preaching get your hands dirty before you start moving clones or whatever they were doing.
Play around in the soil a little bit first, get that soil bacteria on your hands first, and then go play around with your clones.
Unless you're doing tissue culture, then don't fucking do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Spray everything down with bleach first, please.
Holy fuck.
Man, you went for like 6 hours yesterday, Ty. Puffing tough.
I don't know. I don't even notice, man. Like fucking, like the kids ask me for stuff, and I fuck off and go take care of them for like I fucking peel out for like 30 minutes sometimes and come back, and everybody's still here. I'm like, oh, I still got friends. This is awesome.
Yeah, we still chat without you, bro.
That's good. Gotta take care of them fucking young kids there. Maybe they might need to take care of me. Hopefully not, but.
So I live in Vegas, and I don't know one cool ass dude here that's growing weeds, so I got to find him online. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. Me too.
Like, fuck, I got people in my neighborhood that grow my shit, and they still don't come over and hang out, dude.
Because they're not into it like we are.
Yeah.
No, there's not many like us.
Yeah, Future Cannabis Project show gets like max like 1,400 views, unless it's like Kevin Joby or some crazy show,
Yeah,
I've got a couple buddies that down in Ohio that are just getting into tent growing in the last year and just getting going because they can grow now, but it's like they don't have time to dive into podcasts like this. They've got kids and stuff to do.
Yeah.
Can't go out as hard.
If I had a job, like a real job where I had to go and clock in, like, dude, I couldn't take the time to be on things like this and do stuff like this and be with my plants and be 4 kids. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm lucky I got a 2-week on, 2-week off schedule there because I'd be busy as fuck too there. There'd be no time for fuck all.
You still pop in when you're working though?
Oh yeah, I try. When I'm on night shift, I'm a fucking zombie though. Nobody hears or sees me in 2 weeks. Come home, go to bed, wake up. It's time to go to work.
So I was in the scenery industry here in Vegas, setting up stage shows for fucking ever, right? Siegfried and Roy and Blue Man Group and all the stuff from Vegas from back in the 80s till now. And we worked like fucking 72-hour shifts sometimes, just straight through. And it's Vegas, so you kind of find some help sometimes. You got a little energy sometimes to help you through it, and it ended up being an industry where everybody was smoking weed. But if you were on heroin or drunk or spun out, you just didn't get to stay around. The people were all smoking weed in the scenery industry, but if you might come to work and hurt somebody, you were like out.
Yeah, mining is kind of that way too there, you go hard, like they tell you like slow down, work safe, take your breaks, it's too hot, you can't run that. But it's like at the end of the day they're like, why didn't you get it done? So it's like run your fucking bag off and then go home, take care of your family, and then you know what I mean? Like so like I used to need help back in the good old days too there, but I fucking
Is that your dinner? I just fed that exact can, the meaty bits, to my cat.
That's good.
Fucking exact can.
This is the preferred kitty. She gets to eat whenever she basically shows back up to the house.
Yeah, I got one of those. Cheese first.
We got a group of neighborhood cats that get to do that around here. Shit.
We got a feral one out in the front. We just leave a little dry food out for her, you know.
Yeah, man, I don't got any. I've been telling everybody about FCP there, and I don't fucking have anybody like join FC. I don't have any personal friends on FCP. Like, what the fuck, man? All my friends from FCP are from FCP.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the most random. So when poker club started, it was just a few of us. It was me, Uncle Rick up in Canada, Miranda in Canada, and then it was Lil E-Bud, who's 15 minutes away from me on the other side of town.
No way. Yeah, there's not too many fucking hardcore weed nerds out there. Like, I got my buddy, like I got a couple buddies into growing, but they're not like, yeah, man. There's nobody that I know that would come on and fucking nerd out online with me.
No, it's mostly like, what are you doing?
But I learned more sitting here watching these shows right here. I'm telling you, bro, just watching the Future Cannabis little side shows like this, because everybody's growing shit. So I learned so much more.
Oh yeah.
What am I gonna watch? Like James Loud? I'm not gonna learn much there except some history of some cultivator. I'm not gonna learn all the little details. You know.
Where did he go?
Yeah, this was the most consistent place for good information. I was locked in for a while.
Oh yeah.
Listening to talks way above my pay grade. Which is so good.
Getting better every fucking season and every grow, huh? Like every season I get better watching this channel.
Yeah, like
still learning stuff. I'm still fucking trying to figure out how to water a pot.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure out if it's better to water it from the bottom or let it butt chug or let it top water.
Yeah, I've been mostly top watering these days, but I did for the first time in probably 6 months. I was like, in the bottom.
Yeah.
So, have you tried watering twice? Like you top water once just to get your saturation going, and then water again. It waters better.
That's what I'm planning. Now I'm cutting. I think I'm just too heavy on the water. I'm doing something a little off. I need to go smaller and more frequent instead of.
That's what I do.
Yeah, you're right.
I like the double water.
Yeah, I learned that actually from Steve Campbell at the Soil Life Summit.
I'm so like just anal retentive, and I've got to go lift up the pots. You know, like I'm in there lifting up every pot, and
I agree.
You know, like my wife and kids are like, "Why does it take you so long to water, Dad? Why does it take you so long to water?" Well, because I've been there. I got to fill every pot. I got to make sure they're all watered just right. You know.
It was easier when I could pick up the pots. I'd like to be in beds. It's just not. I can't crop as much if I go to bed, so I'm in 20s and 25s, and they're just not pick up really. Like 10, 12 is kind of the limit, I think. Maybe a 15.
Are you in plastic or fabric?
I'm back to plastics. I went from fabric to the air pots.
Yeah.
Off-brand air pots, and then back to plastic.
Yeah, I'm back to plastic too, Fuzz.
Yeah. In bags, I use a lot of bags. If I'm doing a pheno hunt, I've got like 1s and 3 gallons, 5 gallons, 7 gallons plastic bags. I'm into those now because they just don't take up space to store. That's why I liked the air pots at first, because they stacked really nice on a shelf. I'm like, man, these things don't take up any space, but they just weren't.
So I got a pot. This pot was just like sitting in the back of the house where we moved. My brother-in-law had moved in. It just sat in a corner back there, and it's a pretty good sized pot. It's like a 12-gallon pot or something like that, and I needed a pot to put a Solo G in. It's getting kind of big, and I needed a transplant. I wanted that pot because, doing some shit. And so I grabbed that pot, and transplanted into it. And then I realized that pot was a plastic pot that had been spray painted white. So now my beautiful organic soil and everything I did is inside of spray paint. Like the inside was spray painted.
I got that going on outside right now. I use these old garage doors for my raised beds. A few of them were painted on one side, and now it's like 2 years later, and I'm just watching like probably this lead paint chip off, come off in big pieces. I'm like, so those will probably be replaced by next year. I'm just gonna pop them off and put some new 2x12s on. I tried to get by with the free wood. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. I feel that, man. One time I made raised beds with old railway ties, and somebody's like, "Dude, those things are soaked in creosote there. You got to get rid of that shit."
That's what they did in the 90s. My parents had railroad ties. That's what our sandbox was made out of. Like, road. Yep.
Yeah.
They're cheap.
So my friend, growing up, my friend had a house that was built out of railroad ties. This whole house was built out of them.
Oh shit!
You know, somebody had tore up an old desert or old railroad track and fucking built this. It was a low squat house that somebody built on a fucking. We lived in a place called Home Gardens Drive in Reno, and it had like micro farms. We were all a bunch of micro farms down this road. Dude lived in a fucking squat little, like his dad bought this property with this house on it.
That's fucking awesome.
I had my epiphany once I burned one of those things. I was like, oh, what?
Nice.
What could hold that much oil?
You gotta help burn bright.
For a while too.
Yeah, good firewood. You're not trying to be by the fire.
So I got these cousins. They took my brother out to the desert, right? And they've got these engines that this guy worked in a scrapyard. Every once in a while, they'd get this engine. They take you out to the desert and throw it in a fire. And it was made of something where the engine would start getting hotter and hotter and start glowing and fucking turn hot. And they'd have this fucking car engine sitting there glowing in the fire. And my brother was all drunk and he said, I'm going to hurdle it. And, you know, he's drunk and fatter now, but he used to be a Nevada State champion diver. But he got to fucking running and tried to hurdle that thing and didn't do it right and landed 1 foot on top of it and then kept going. But when he hit on top of it, it fucking burned him through all the way to the ankle bone, burned his ankle bone, all the skin off, every meat, blood vessels, everything. And so he was really drunk and it hurt really bad. So he went over to the lake and put his foot in the lake and passed out. And he woke up with a fucking infection and, like, you know, there were fish eating at his leg and shit.
Have a leg? Does he still have a foot? Like,
it took like 2 years before he was like walking normal again.
Man,
but this was like 20 years ago.
That's fucking brutal. I've jumped over a couple fires, but that sounds way above my pay grade.
Risky.
We got an experiment here.
What'd they do with the motor? I guess I was waiting.
Hell?
Motored him out. What'd they do with the motor after? Scrap it?
I'm not sure. I never asked.
It was the fucking
carbon fiber or carbon composite or something like that.
I took a bunch of the 73 bag and just packed it in this jar as tight as I could, and then put the jar in the fridge.
It's just bubble wash.
Yeah, straight hash just packed in there. I don't know.
How long has it been in there?
I don't know, like but it's been in the fridge, so it's moving real slow. But it's been in a couple months anyway.
Nice.
I was thinking it might cure into something cool, but I don't know.
It looks kind of weird.
You better see what it tastes like.
It does look very weird.
It might be in its prime right now. You're gonna put it away?
I gotta put it away.
It might be in its prime right now. You're not gonna hit that. You're not gonna have a little taste, 2-month taste to see what it is. How are you gonna know if it's getting better if you don't taste it?
Fuck thanks. You're right.
Right?
I gotta let it cool down because it's frozen, sort of, kind of cold. I can't pick it out.
Do you hand rub your bubble hash? Do you get it into that fucking super pliable fucking shit?
Sometimes, like I started off doing all Frenchy tech, but now I've been kind of experimenting with like Piatella style tech, but like I don't have a freeze dryer, so I can't make Piatella. Yeah.
Sean, hey, you're the fucking scientist on the fucking Future Shadows project. All doing tissue culture in your little tiny spot and shit.
I can fuck around.
Right.
Well, I don't know. This is what came out.
Oh damn. Oh yeah.
There's a whole bunch more down there, but like,
is there
like a piece?
You got a micron to that, or
73.
That's all 73 micron.
Sorry,
From
I was-
120 to 73.
Oh wow.
Should be nice.
Yeah.
I'll put some in my proxy. I think it's charged. Well, I'll keep this little nugget out here and put this away. Like, it's got a nice color to it, though.
Sorry guys.
Yeah, it's better now that like it had that weird edge, that dried edge, kind of crinkly look.
Yeah,
but down inside
it
the
looked
middle,
ugly.
it looked good.
It did look ugly from the top for sure, but
is
the inside
that-
looks kind of pretty.
Yep.
So is that the strategy for Piatella to, if you're not breaking any heads and put cold cure, or
Yeah,
not a
you
room
just-
temperature thing, or you want it
in. Yeah, you
cold.
vacuum seal it, and then you
Yeah.
like put it somewhere cold, and like that's pretty much all I got.
how cold is cold? Yes,
I think like refrigerator temperatures.
so that's like 36, under 40.
Nothing I make looks like Piatella though.
That's got to be a long cure, though.
Yeah, like
How
I
long
don't
is it
think much
supposed to
happened to it. I don't know. Like I'm still trying. I'm still learning. I think it takes
Ooh.
like 3 months.
Dude, that's awesome.
Ooh,
Dude.
okay.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like full mount, bro.
I had a good idea.
Yeah,
You should
dude.
smoke that.
That's pretty.
That's not what I was expecting it to do.
Oh, not at all. It's got to be a crumbly mess.
Well, it was cold, man.
Yeah, it's
Put it in
awesome.
the proxy, see what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to mess around down that rabbit hole.
Here, I'll
Yeah,
make a real
that's the best,
thin
bro.
piece and see if we can see through it.
It's funny.
You said it was 2 months?
I'm gonna have. I don't know.
Right.
My phone got destroyed at
Oh,
work.
it's like
so
a
What
fucking
the
fruit
fuck?
roll up.
That is pretty.
What flavor is that fruit roll up right there?
Yeah, you should definitely eat some.
Right. Right.
I like edibles. I turned into a lizard once.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this. I don't even remember what this is. Like I don't remember if it's my inbred hick or if it's fucking just random weed.
You
I
can't
don't
smell
remember
it
what
and tell?
batch this came from.
That consistency is crazy.
No,
Cold cure heads.
Man, beautiful. It's like fucking like caramel.
yeah,
Was it dry sift or bubble? Bubble?
yeah, it's bubble.
What the fuck?
I know, huh? It's beautiful, bubble, huh? Good job.
Thank you. Experiment.
Hey Tim,
Looks like it's
Yeah.
working pretty good, dude.
did you get that Soma Zittles auto as well from the Organic Grower Society? You can have the rest of that more.
I didn't get anything from the Organic Grower Society.
Oh, okay.
That
Oh,
was
you
from
didn't.
Ryan.
Yeah, okay. I gotta see if someone else got that Soma Zittles auto because I know it's weird.
I'm not a fan of auto flower just because I don't know, I just haven't had a good positive experience with them.
It's just you can't keep them. You can't clone them. I'm looking for shit I can reproduce. I don't want
Yeah.
one tons, or I'm not trying to pay $20 for a seed. I don't know when it's going to flower, how much weight I'm going to get off of it.
Bingo.
Any
We are
consistency.
heating.
Oh,
See
nice.
how good she melts here, boys.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing pretty good.
Smoking.
Ooh, she's already smoking. Hell
It's a
yeah.
puddle. It's puddling out already.
You're wasting it.
That's pretty.
I got more.
Wow, bro. Good job.
Oh,
I want
yeah.
to hit that right now. Do you have my address?
Nothing. I wish I won that.
You got the old Sherlock pipe.
It's not as good as rosin. It's good, but it's not as good as rosin. I still like rosin better.
That's fun though.
So you would prefer if you just pressed it? Well, why? Flavor wise, what's going on over there?
I'll show you.
Dirty.
Can you see the darkness?
Yep, we sure can.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit harsh. I prefer rosin. I feel it's smoother on my lungs. It tastes a little better.
So you press that, you run it through like a 37.
Well, I'd probably just like the way I like to do it is catch everything into it out of the 45 bag and then just press everything in the rosin press.
Okay, yeah.
And then I get like, like it's like hard to grade everything out when you're small, man. Like it's like, like it's nice to have like a little sample of all this stuff, but it's like I'd rather have like like an ounce of rosin in a jar that I can keep on dabbing rather than have like, a little bit of rosin and a chunk of hash and like, you know what I mean? Like I can't really make something good out of this, so it's gonna go in the freezer for edibles, and rather just catch everything in the 45 bag and make like a decent middle grade hash rosin to smoke. Then at least my jars are full.
So what are you growing like? What is your indoor, outdoor grow like? What's your harvest like? I haven't seen any of that stuff. I've seen you doing a lot of indoor culturing and stuff like that, but I haven't seen your anything like full flowering plants or anything like that.
Yeah, I never even posted my last fucking grow. But I got like I used to have 3 lights in there, but then one strip burned out. So then I took all my beds and squished them together under 2 lights. So I got two 600 strip lights, 600-watt strip lights.
I remember seeing your grow now. I remember seeing you in there. So you got how many beds you have under those 2 lights?
I had 6, but I dragged them outside, and I'm growing carrots in 3 of them right now. I'm doing a big cleanup in my flower room right now, and like even this room there. I think I'm gonna clean out some stuff and just gonna spray the entire, because it's like a 15 by 24 garage, and then like the first section there, I got a wall built right in front of me here, and that's where I got to do like my hash lab and drying and curing and shit, and I got a freezer in there, and so like a lot of the cold seeps in from the garage door and my other shitty door, my man door. So it stays like a pretty chilly temperature in there in the winter, so it's perfect for fucking hash. And then like this is my kind of veg room where, like the middle section, and then the wall behind me is the flower room. So I got like 3 rooms in here, and but yeah, I'm fucking scraping everything out of here. Like I'm trying to ditch those strips, and because it's like before they didn't really bother me because like I was just like doing everything organically and like bringing soil from outside and like like didn't really bother me too much. But now that I'm doing the tissue culture thing and there's like some fungus gnat flying into my tissue culture lab, like bouncing off my flow hood and shit, and it's like, yeah, that can't happen now. Like I gotta fucking the living soil.
Handle on it.
Yeah, like the fucking like the cover crop and all the, you know, like I'm just gonna go back to pots and amendments for a while, and you know, then there's not gonna be shit buzzing around. Got to do a new flow hood coming, probably in the middle of the ocean right now. So
made in China.
Yeah, Alibaba. So I'm trying to build out a little bit bigger lab there, so it's a little bit more of an efficient process for me, and trying to clean up everything in the process. And
I kind of lost my garden this year, so I'm starting that new garden over there at my brother-in-law's house, and it's the indoor's doing great, but the outdoor, you know, it takes time for your soil to become settled and all the, you know, microbiology and the mycelium and everything to fucking work up. So
yeah,
it's been a little bit of a struggle in the newer garden, and the temperatures are about to go crazy.
You're starting from scratch. You said your grass has been dead a long time, eh?
Yeah, that's my brother-in-law's yard, and that grass has been dead, you know, for decades.
Yeah. So
it's in an old neighborhood.
That's definitely going to be a fucking struggle, man. But I'm excited that you're trying to turn that into something fucking green again, though. That's cool.
Hey, but you know, we went out into nature and gathered like tons of boulders and filled a giant pit full of boulders, and then gathered gravel and put the gravel, and then sand and put the sand, and then we gathered some soil, and it's all from nature. We got everything we got from fucking nature. But I got really lucky because my family's been working at this place, Spring Mountain Ranch State Park, and they have a grassy area where they have built a stage, and there's plays and concerts out there. Well, the wild burros come wandering in out of the desert from the state park, right? And you're not allowed to go on a state park and gather the burro dung, but they come out on the fucking grass at the place where everybody's going to come with their kids and lay out their blankets and watch the play and the concert. So they take all the burro dung off the grass and pile it in the side for 30 years. So I was able to go out there and get that fucking burro dung, man. And that was part of my main compost. That was my dung for my compost.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good.
Wild burro dung from a state park, and all my plants love the fucking soil, man. They love it.
Hell yeah. Oh, that sounds great.
I'm just wondering at what point will I have to top dress, and is it missing some nutrients? Because I went to the mountains and I went to the state park to get the burro dung and that, and then we went to the desert and gathered stuff. So we kind of like tried to diversify as much as we could, you know. Plus, I did some extra stuff like OK Calyx. I bought a bunch of his stuff, and I crushed up a bunch of shells. My mom was in a shell club for decades, and she has shells from all over the world in excess. So we crushed them all up and threw them in there.
You crushed your mom's fucking shell? Yes.
The ones she allowed me to, trust me. She said, okay, these that have been sitting outside in the sun for 2 decades, you can grab all those and crush them up.
That's hilarious.
But she didn't pull out the collection though. But yeah, for sure. For sure. I did use mom's shells because they were like the resource I knew was healthy and organic, you know?
That's right.
My
wife left a bunch of clamshells on the counter there, and I'm like looking at them. I'm like, should I grind them up or should I throw them in the garbage? Should I grind them up or should I throw them in the garbage? I got a fucking huge bag of oyster shell flour over here. Like, I don't really need to crush those up. I better just throw them out before I get in trouble.
Yeah. Crayfish and shellfish and stuff like that. If you leave the shells in the trash can in the house overnight, you're gonna wake up to a stinky house, boy.
This is true.
I lived in New Orleans. I rebuilt Hurricane Katrina for about 18 months, and while I was down there, I had access to a lot of different seafood and stuff. And the first time I made a mistake with those blue crab, I left the shells in the trash can overnight, and I got up in the morning and whew. But that would have been some good shit for, like, I wasn't cultivating in New Orleans because, you know, the weather was just like crazy.
So I'm thinking like that, like when you make wine, you're getting rid of all the wines, like the skins of the grapes and everything, right? Like, and everybody compares like hash making to wine making, but like when you're making rosin, you're breaking the heads and then you're leaving them behind and filtering it through the bag. Like I don't think even the purest of hash can be as smooth as, like a decent rosin, because, you're always keeping that skin of the membrane, of the trichome head in there.
I like that. And so what is it that's making the rosin the color that it is? Because I saw somebody with some rosin at the Ridge Sesh. Of course, I wasn't there, but just online, I saw a guy had some rosin that was clear. Did you just harvest early?
There's definitely a number of factors, like early harvest, but like having a freeze dryer will make it a lot more light. But like I found a tech that kind of makes your rosin pretty light by like grinding it up with a bud buster and putting it in a pizza box, and in a cold condition it'll dry in like 2 days if you sieve it super thin. So I'll take it with my coffee grinder from the freezer and my rosin or my hash chips, and I'll put them in the coffee grinder frozen, and I'll put that into my little sieve, and then I'll dust that onto a parchment paper in a pizza box. I only get about 3 grams in there, so it takes like 10 pizza boxes to make an ounce, But the color, like it doesn't oxidize, though, for it being like when you pile up the trichome heads, they seem to melt together and then it'll turn brown and oxidize. But if you can have them separated into a fine dust and not have them conglomerate together, the moisture evaporates, and the conglomerating together is what makes them bust and oxidize and turn brown.
Okay.
So you can have them like separated apart. They don't do that, and they'll stay a nice color. So that's how I make really nice looking rosin that makes like pretty pictures. But when I grind it up with the bud buster, it's like breaking the fucking trichomes into pieces, and it's like, you're gonna be losing terpenes for sure. So it's kind of not a good idea, but it saves me a lot of time, so I keep doing it. But yeah.
That's crazy good information, Ty. I see that you really got your head in this. I appreciate that.
I like hash. It's it's nice.
Yeah, I found out. I'm not sure if you heard on like the Autolong show like 2 shows ago. Ryan had given us some fucking bubble hash, like a lot, and he gave us some that was in little balls that had been half worked, and then he gave us some excuse me, and then he gave some just straight sift, just powder.
Okay.
And I had made my own before, and I was hand rubbing it and it got hard. I was like, okay, it's too hard to fuck with anymore. That must be hash. And then Ryan said, isn't it cool how when it gets hard, if you keep working it goes soft? And then after that, I tried that, and when that shit went soft, it became that fucking pliable shit. I couldn't stop fucking with it. I need hash. This is fucking amazing.
Well, when I make a temple ball, I'll wrap it in cellophane and I'll like put like electrical tape around it to keep it sealed, and I'll leave it on the counter, and I'll pick that thing up and it'll be like rock fucking hard. But within like 3 months time there, you'll pick it up and it'll be like gooey, and when you take that electrical tape off, you'll see in the creases of the cellophane there'll be like this terpene that's like almost off gas, and it's stuck in the creases. That's when you know that fucker's ready, man. You open that up and it's not the same texture as when you put it in there. Like when you put it in there, it'd be like taffy. It'll be hard, it'll be shiny, it'll almost be like transparent, I think is the word, where you can kind of see through it a little bit, but it's like, but then it turns into like this gummy fucking mess. Where did I do with my hash? Yeah, so it turns from this fucking shiny stuff into this real pliable fucking. Even this, it's cold. You can work it, but. Oh, there's a piece. Yeah, it used to be weird and shiny, but now it's like completely different color. It's like the THCA is like crystallizing, I believe, is what's happening. Maybe somebody smarter than me can tell us what actually happened, but yeah, and then it's like it's not as gummy, but it's you can work with it and kind of spread it, but when you heat it back up, it gets like sticks back together. It's a weird consistency, this one.
Huh? It's like oatmeal gum or something.
But yeah, like it's weird that you can make so many consistencies just curing the hash. Like
that's amazing. Yeah, so Ryan gave me 10 grams of a Temple ball he had made of some Aliens on Moonshine, and it was half CBD, half THC mix, and that shit was fire, bro. Temple ball is just like above and beyond.
Yeah,
but hey guys, I'm gonna have to take off. I got some stuff I gotta take care of. Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, see that's almost like before it's cured, right?
Okay.
Like it's more shiny and pliable.
Yeah, it's like that stuff we're used to.
Then after it ages, it gets to be more like this stuff that I just showed you, and there's like a compound in there called hashinine, and that's like when you get that old school Afghani hash that smells real fucking.
Yeah.
That's the aging process. The fermentation there. That's the fucking.
Yeah, I've heard of that. That's how it's produced through that aging process. Wow. Very cool. But hey, guys, I got to take off. I got stuff I got to handle. My dog got a fucking cauliflower I got to fix.
Oh. I hope your dog's all right, bro.
Good seeing you.
Thank you. Yeah. Have a good one, y'all. Have a good night.
Good night, Tim.
Good night, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. I was smoking on some just some batter I got from the club. I was trying out. But this other flower is grape diamonds that I grew last year.
Nice.
Then I got some hash that I've been working that I got off of my blueberry lemonade. It's the trichomes on that original mother that I did for my BBL jersey, the blueberry lemonade, is they're like super dry and sandy.
Yeah.
So like I like to mix it. I had another one that's just it's got very little flavor called like Jumanji. I think Levi's talked about it before. It's a Kush cookies variety that's got very little flavor, but a lot of heavy trichomes and high THC. Yeah. So I'll kind of mix the two when I'm making bubble hash at the end of the year, and I'll usually save some of that. Just sandy in a jar aside, and then when I want to make hash out of it, I'll kind of mix it together and start rolling it and rubbing it. And
blends are awesome. I haven't fucked with that for a while, but there was one blend that I had, and it was like the best hash I ever made. It was like this greasy stuff mixed with like a sandy one there, and it was like, man, it smelled like some old school Afghani or something fucking like. But I could never recreate it. It's gone forever.
Well, and it's funny because, I live in an area where there's a lot of native Indians, like not native here Indians, but like India Indians.
Yeah.
And so they do bomb, and they all smoke a lot of hash too. So it's hearing some of the ways that they would choose some of the plants that I have, I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, So that's why one of the things that's got me like on the finding a good hasher kick. Like that's my next goal would be to find a real good hasher. I want a 5 to 7%er. You know what I mean?
Fucking right, man. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. I don't need a hash, and I would that.
Yeah. So this one I just keep putting to the side, messing with. Every now and then it hardens up. I don't really keep it in the fridge. I just kind of keep it up. But it'll harden up and crumble apart. But then if I work it like and get it hot, it starts to get a lot more pliable. And just mess around, And that's just after I trim. I have my screen and I take all that keef, if you will, and that's what I'll rub. And really, it's just I'll sit there between my hands and roll it, and it's only me smoking it, And one of the homies, the older homies that I've met from India, like that's what he used to do, because I'd give him jars of my, all my trichome, my keef, and that's what he'd do. He'd just put it in his hand and just start rolling it, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll try that shit. We'd smoke it on top of bowls and get high as shit. So
yeah.
Sometimes those, because I come from the black market, So I meet a lot of people in that area now, or I used to meet a lot of people in that area, and so they teach me all kinds of fun tricks, and it's just, I don't know if it's right or if it's wrong, but it does for me what it does for me.
Oh yeah, well, definitely look at it go now, man. You can actually work that now. Like fuck, it was like an oblong shape. Now it's like a nice pliable ball.
Yeah. And then eventually, like, it will get sticky. So, but then once it starts to get sticky, that's when I'll start pulling off of it and I'll start smoking it. Like this one, I'll probably start smoking off of here this week. So, but I start with bubble hash. Usually I'll direct plant cut right into the ice water and agitate by hand for about 2 hours, 3 hours. Screen, agitate by hand, 2-3 hours, screen. That was how I was taught,
Yeah. Do you do like long breaks in between, like you do 2 hours, or like you do like 10 minutes, couple minute break, 10 minutes, or you just keep on fucking around for, man, that's a long paddle.
The homie that taught me, he had me, like, when we did it, we the 5-gallon bucket with the 5 screens, the bubble screens, and we just sat there for like 2 hours, 3 hours, just mixing, pull a screen, shake it, and then same thing, 2 hours, add some ice, keep going. We did that all day until we pulled final screen, and then during all that process, whoever's not mixing is scraping screen and putting out on wax paper, and just mark each one and start rolling.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, after like 45 minutes of agitation, I'm about over it.
Yeah, we usually make it an all-day thing, just get it all fucking over with, and then just, go for it.
You guys seen my Sharpie?
No.
Up by the box, left side.
What are you?
I found a horde of them. Not too long ago, but I don't fucking remember what the horde was.
Like a pack of lighters, eh? You fucking buy a pack and lose it before one.
Right.
This is everything except a Sharpie. No, carry on. Sorry to derail that. Trying to take some clones here. Get ready for some clones. Let me show you. I'm a little behind right now. I'd like to have. I fucked around and got behind with my clones, so these should be a little bit bigger. Let's see. So like this row of 4 on the wall. That's like a week from going in. And then this next batch over here. Mine the solo cups. That's like the solo cups are actually how big they should be. Everything else is too small. But yeah, 3 weeks from now, every 17 days I'm flipping. I'm just getting it dialed into where I don't have any extra plants. I'm done pheno hunting. Those last 4 back there are the re-veges I'm waiting for. I'm about to clone off 2 of them right now. It'll just leave me with 2 re-veggers left. Those are the ones I just transplanted. I'll water those in. Yeah, whole mess of different stuff. There's at least like a dozen different. I'm cutting a few off, but I don't know. I've got like 15 different females I'm playing with, starting to whittle them down. But
yeah, the whittling is good, eh? They fucking.
Oh, and then I wanted to show you these 2. I know you brought these suckers up.
Yeah,
they do good down
buddy.
here under real light.
Are those
So
babies?
like a week ago, this one wasn't above that horizontal 2x4 that the Dehu's sitting on.
Yeah.
Now it's like an inch above it. That thing's flying right now, but I've got it.
Whoa, they're not even under the light.
But this, all right, so this thing, she tilted her.
It's a fucking powerhouse, that thing, or what?
Well, it's a 440, but they're not under the light, but the light's pointed at them.
Yeah.
They're under the light.
Like, fuck, they like a lot of fucking light, man. It's crazy, man. Like, when I bring mine from outside and put them inside, they get like 2 inches skinnier there, and they don't look healthy. And
yeah, this one's starting to. It's a little thicker. I don't know if it comes across, but it's starting to thicken.
Well, it's
they're all
thick at
doing
the top
real good
there.
right
Whatever's going on, it likes what is happening to it.
Yeah. So this was when I got it. It took me till about here to put it in soil. So then it rooted and did that. Now it looks like it's loving life a little bit more now.
What do you mean? It was growing out of nothing?
Yeah, I bought it. I got this thing at a festival. It's not even my cactus. My homie bought this thing for like $70 in the parking lot. And it's like, hey, you're gonna grow it better than me. You can do it. So yeah, it's twice as tall as it was when I got it. That's about a year. About a year in soil.
Hell yeah.
I was looking back on old pictures. I saw the start of this mess. Like he brought me just one. It was just one piece that I cut into 2 and then topped those and cut those off. And I was like, I'm going to put them all in the same thing and just let this evolve.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
I probably set this up like a year ago. When I did it, there wasn't much that was above. A few of them were above the pot, but a lot of these were definitely inside the pot, growing all skinny and shitty. Some still are. So maybe in another year I'll chop these back and just probably put them in the same pot. I don't know. It's gonna be. I like it. One fell over.
I feel like mine are maybe too close to the light, and like I don't know, man. Yours look way better than mine did under artificial light.
I use my soil mix 50-50 with sand.
Yeah.
It's a heavy mix. These are my thrip indicators. Like I can tell from that mark I had thrips. Like
I got lots of those. I got lots of black. I get lots of black bubbles.
Yeah, so that's the thrips, man, and they live in the top.
They eat the fuck out of there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucker.
It's been pretty good. There's not a whole lot of thrip marks on them, so it's been going pretty good.
Yeah. You're clean as much. Your grow is much cleaner than mine. My cactus did not like it in here.
Oh, here I got my foxtail too. Here, check that sucker out.
Oh, damn, buddy, that's like a fucking pine cone. That's fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty much a pine cone. But
Wish my dick looked like that.
That's what I said. She's that's it. Look at that out of the fox.
Bro, you had downtown brown too?
It didn't used to be brown. She's been re-vegging for a while. She's been in here a minute.
Yep.
But they're coming. I'm gonna snip at least one or two off of that one. This one's getting snipped. This is a Bickett to Flying Triangle. I think Lefty Spar made these seeds. I got them giveaway, stolen from my buddy when I saw Bickett on a seed pack. I'm like, let me get those. You popping those? Let me get those. So I got two of those. That's the little one. This was like the tall pheno. Definitely two different phenos. The two of those, and then these are Ghost of Boneyards. That little one's the winner. The big one's like similar terps and kind of grew better, but like that one's like hands down the winner. Out of like 30 plants, Ghost to Boneyards, and Ghost to One Hitter Quitters. It was like 30 or 40. Like that was the one.
When you did that hunt. This is the re-veg of that, eh?
Yeah. Nice. About done, man. I'm about done with that. Yeah, it's been like a year hunting. I think I worked through like 90 females probably down here and upstairs. That's a blueberry muffin, white widow, an ice cream cake. This is poontang juice. That one there. It's a CBD canifier.
Nice.
Death Star. That's one of mine. That's my Bubba to a Cherry West back cross. And then I hunted like 100 of those seeds, and that was the winner out of those. Finally coming around, I had a little issue getting a clone off of it. My clones didn't root, so I had to snip clones fucking a week or 10 days into flower, whatever it was. It took forever for it to like grow out of that. It's back. Those more Death Stars. A couple. These are Purple Unicorn to Gelato Cherry Limeade to Cherry West. Wait, no. Just the first thing, minus the Cherry West. Purple Unicorn, Gelato Cherry Limeade.
Holy fuck. Did you grow that out before?
I have grown out. Yeah, I had a mom that I threw pollen on, and I've got like the one I call the Russets is like the mom came out of this seed stock. And this was a winner. So yeah, this was me popping the back end of that seed pack. I cashed that pack. And
nice, right on.
Kept this one. I just got it re-veg. So these are the clones. That plant was sitting over there not too long ago. These are just the first clones off of it. First real run.
Yeah. You didn't put any rice hulls yet?
I gotta go get another bag out of the shed. I'm down to 100 pounds. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You need to order another pallet again or what?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You're done with the pallets?
Might have to go pick it up local. It might be worth the gas.
I won't even buy it. I'd love to use it, but it costs so much to ship a fucking 50-pound bag here. It's not worth it for me to buy.
I think what I'm gonna end up doing, because these things sort of have like a heavy metal potential, and if I can cut that out, I'd like to cut it out. So what I think I'm going to do is cut like saucers out of 5 mil plastic or something, and make little soil covers out of plastic.
Oh yeah, sounds like a fucking pain in the ass.
But once I make them, I only have so many pots. I only literally need to make so many, and it's done. And I don't know.
Yeah, they last forever after that.
Yeah.
Be a little. Plant through it.
What?
You got to plant through it.
Yeah, so it would be like I figure I just cut. I don't know. I'll make it make fucking sense.
You sure as fuck can't put it on later. Like, you got to fucking transplant through this fucking thing if you want to line up right.
So it won't be a hole. I'll cut like a slice to the middle, so It doesn't have to be a super good cover, but just something to hold moisture in and let my bugs live. Like I think this is part of the reason my bugs are living is because I've got that deep rice hull there.
My buddy gave me these things before, and they were like made out of this stuff that you like set on top of a table, and then like you put things on it to stop it from slipping around. It's like this weird like squishy material. Like, anyways, he gave me, and it's like there's like holes in it, like it's like crisscross kind of. But anyways, he gave me these things, and that's what they are. Like you put them over top of the pot to like keep moisture from evaporating. And I never used them. I just fucking threw them in my shed. I'm like, oh, thanks. Fucking.
Oh shit.
But yeah, like fucking, I should go dig those out and try them out.
Right.
Hilarious. Oh, looks good in there, bro.
Oh yeah.
That's the last straggler, I guess, of the pheno hunt. But yeah, I don't want to go in there too much right now. It's loud as hell. AC's cooking, but that's where they all end up. All right, get me off of the big screen.
Well, gentlemen, I gotta go put my kids to sleep. So,
Cheers, bro.
Hey man, have a good night. Nice kicking it.
y'all have a great night.
Thanks for jumping on, bro.
Oh yeah. Talk to y'all soon.
See you next time, man. You just starting your night shift, eh, Fuzz?
I'm gonna go cut down I think I got something I can trim. I got done with the Bubba. So, on to the next one. I got to take a peek. I didn't want to go in there earlier. It's just been so fucking hot in the garage. I hate opening the door, and I saw what it did when I opened it and stood in there for a few minutes when I cut that plant out. I can't open it.
What time did you get up today?
Man, let's about 2 again. I've been consistent. I was up until 6. I let the chickens out at 5:30 and laid down.
Stay up long enough to let the chickens out and go to bed.
Yeah. Probably be somewhat of the same.
That's funny, man. That's my night shift schedule when I'm on night shift.
Kind of sucked today. Today was a nice day to sleep till 2, but what are you gonna do? I just gotta not be a piece of shit in the middle of the night, and it's all right. But it is hard not being outside. I guess I mowed the grass. I did a little bit of something out there.
Yeah, I've been out there all week there. It's too nice. Can't help it.
I was out there. But it sucks. Like, if I got to put a long night in down there, I can't be outside fucking killing myself all day. I lose motivation to come down here. It's this showering and getting cleaned up, and it's a whole process to come down here and do shit in the middle of summer. It's light out until 10 o'clock. Then I got to shower and eat. By the time I think about doing anything, it's midnight. Then I'm full. I'm like, fuck it.
Chickens.
Right now, I do want some more chickens. I'll tell you what. Ever since I lost that one chicken, I'm like, I need another chicken. More chickens. Chickens.
That's how we get Gorski on, eh? You say chicken 3 times and he appears. Oh, fuck.
Are you on night shift right now?
No, I'm on days off. I gotta wake up and bring my kids for their last day of school tomorrow. And then I don't think I have to wake up early anymore. They probably still wake up at the same time, though. And then I don't have to, I don't have to make lunches, but then I have to take care of them all day. not a very good trade-off, I don't think. Only takes a few minutes to make lunches.
I can barely cook for myself. I can't imagine.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Me too. I just cook for them instead.
We're not eating until 2 in the morning, fuckos.
There's a reason I eat fucking French toast 4 days in a row, man. Because it's like, all right, that was easy. It was good yesterday. It's gonna be good tomorrow. Eggs are free.
French toast is, I think, my favorite breakfast food.
Bro, it's fucking. You got to use those fucking eggs somehow, man. I like the kids like, oh, I want some French toast. I'm like, yeah, I get to use some eggs.
No, there he is. Chickens.
Yeah, man. It's all about the chicks. I fucking had to bury a fucking chicken today.
No.
My dog, man. My dog, she fucking disassembled this chicken where the heart was perfectly out on the ground by itself. Like,
what kind of dog do you have?
She's a mix of border collie, lab, and a husky German shepherd.
Huh.
Okay. And man, she was yelping a little bit. Made me feel bad because I smacked her a few times. Nice bud. Yeah, man, I fucking she woke me up right after I fell asleep at like 3 a.m. So I opened up the door a crack just to let her out. She came back in sooner than later, and I felt her on my feet, but I fell back asleep. The door to the chicken house was closed, but one of them jumped out the fucking window, and it fell to its peril because my dog was just like, oh, fucking lunch. Sweet.
Man.
So, yeah, that's it. I'll never, ever again. That's the second time, dude. Last time I buried a wing in a chicken. This time I buried a chicken that was in pieces.
Yeah,
one of my coworkers said, oh, go ahead.
I just lose. Yeah, lose sucks. It was a shitty day. It's like, oh, man.
Yeah, man. You know, digging a hole, feeling guilty about it. So just like, fuck. I could have said, you know, come inside and close the door, but I was just trying to sleep. Usually get to bed at like 3 a.m. Whatever.
So you get more chickens. I think it's how you deal with this.
Dude, I have 3 hens that are broody right now, sitting on 6 eggs apiece.
When did you start this chicken ordeal? How long you been into these chickens?
Couple years, 2 years. So, yeah. No, I had a lot of stuff go on in the last year and a half. So, a lot of things. I was married. We had a 3-year-old. We lost him to an accident, and then a couple weeks later, my wife went for a walk early in the morning, kind of out of her mind because she was so sad and upset, beside herself from the loss of our son, and our 2 dogs got hit by a car. And then a couple weeks later, we lost all the plants that we planted with our son to a frost. And then 7 months later, my wife filed for divorce. So I been overcompensating buying chicken. Now I'm alone with chicken.
Do what you gotta do.
I'm sorry to hear all that, brother, man. I'm fucking. I'm happy we can kind of support you a little bit here and fucking talk some chickens with you anyway.
Oh yeah, it's been a roughie. You know, it's just one of those kind of situations where I'm supposed to be filling out this paperwork and doing all this other stuff, and I just can't bring myself to do anything except feed the chickens and tend to the garden and just kind of like manage around the house, you know? So, yeah, it's different. It's really different. So when I started the chickens, it was because I wanted my son to learn how to take care of animals, and he was doing great. He was so good with them, and you know, he had a really good time. And then I had them, and I don't know. I wanted to get a few more, but you know how they say chicken math.
Heard of it.
So
Yeah,
I kept on going back to the store.
Yeah, my wife just inquired about another chicken there. Like, we're not allowed to have any chickens. We have 8 right now, and she's like, "Well, we should get this one that lays blue eggs because its owner's moving and it doesn't have a home and it's only $20 and we should have this blue egg chicken." And I'm like, "Well, fuck, what's one more? Like, might as well have 9 chickens instead of fucking 8."
That's what I'm looking at. 8 or 9.
Well, the thing is, you know, just inspect the deck, kind of give that chicken a once over and see if it has any mites or like any other, you know what I mean? Like look at its butt, make sure its butthole's all clean, and then fucking see if it's got any. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're getting lots of love in the chat, homie. I don't know if you can see the chat
Yeah.
or not there, but I
No,
figured
I
I'd throw
can't.
that up for you in case.
No, you
But
guys
yeah.
Beetlejuice me. Instead chickens, so I got on. Yeah, it's, you know, man, it's been almost it's been a little been a bit longer than a year now, but it's never going to be the same, you know. And yeah, losing the dogs a couple weeks later to a car accident, and then getting a divorce 7 months later.
I can't.
Yeah,
like that.
no, it's a pretty rough patch. So no, this has been, when I get on and say hello and talk about whatever, you know. And then I've been trying to understand what to do with my time, and now I don't have any free time because it's like $300 a month in chicken feed.
Well,
So
you gotta keep your
at
mind
work.
occupied for sure, man. Fucking yeah.
Oh yeah,
Things swing
sure.
back. Hopefully, things swing back your way. The hard.
Oh yeah, like yeah. Some people say, you know, when stuff like that happens, you know, when one door closes, another one opens. And yeah, I was talking to my one friend who knows my son, you know, and he played with his kids. And I was like, you know, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. And he's like, Gorski, your cookie got fucking disintegrated, man. Like, there's no crumble left, man. Like, what the fuck, dude? And I was like, well, you know, I just try and put a silver lining on it, man. Okay. That's, yeah, it's brutal.
What's going on, Smokey?
It took a while for me to be there.
I had a buddy I worked with lose his 4-year-old when this was 10, 12, 13, 15 years ago. That was brutal, man. I can't imagine.
You're almost like animals more than I like people.
Yeah, he's
that hurt.
You know what? I like plants more than I like animals.
I can't imagine, man.
Same.
Yeah, man.
They don't talk back or fuck all, eh?
He's a. Oh man, now I got the plants. My one friend was trying to say, you know, positively. He's like, well, you know, at least you got stuff you could focus on that you love to do, man. And I'm like, yeah, you know, that's true.
Yeah,
I do have stuff I can focus on now.
Dude, it's still tough. It's tough, like having everything and being, I don't know. It's tough having everything and like knowing you're in a good place and like and still being like in a hole. Like it doesn't matter almost sometimes.
Oh yeah, No, I'm at a point where it's touching go, you know. I try to step early enough in the day to hang out with my dog and pay attention and just not lose myself in the day in bed. So yeah, it's nice to have forum to talk about and plans to talk about.
Oh yeah.
This is a honey banana papaya 90. This shit is incredible.
You ever done a nose dab?
Me, yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah.
A vegan nose dab?
I did it because of you, Ficoli. You told me about you guys and on FBC talking about it and how and all the obsession with it made me want to try it.
It's not bad, right? Smooth.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I knew. Just don't do funny, dude. So just one or two. Do one or two and lay off for a while. You don't need to do them every day. Do a couple.
I did it in this little MJ arsenal too.
Ooh.
Tasted in your nose natural.
Only thing, yeah. It's been out.
Look at that.
This is a relic down here, man. This is
The minis.
a fossil.
But it was a lot of flavor, man. Yeah.
The oil that was burned in this was from a different generation of fucking wax. It wasn't.
It looks like you were burning fucking wax, man.
It wasn't. It wasn't shattered.
Weren't for drying ash, you know what I mean? There's nothing but slabs and pizza boxes back then.
That stuff, that one saw some very green. That one went through the green phase. Went from black to green. Green was like, hell yeah, dude. But it wasn't shatter. Even when shatter was out, it was still green.
Yeah, it was a little before shatter.
Definitely not enough weed in this hash. Gotta break up more weed.
Yeah, I heard from uncles that he does it for 6 months for the Piatella. I don't know if you saw that in the chat, but I don't know if that's why maybe it's not greasing out to a full loaf or.
Maybe.
I've never tried. That's too much time for me.
Fucking right, man. That's a long time.
I don't make enough hash, you know.
No, me neither.
I wish I could, man. I put all my stuff into FICO. Like I could. I've got so much to fuck around with if I didn't just turn it all into FICO. And that's not going to stop. I got to get way ahead on FICO before.
You only have a few cents. You got rooms. You could pull some hash out of those rooms.
Flour though, man. Somebody's got to grow flour.
Yeah.
Let people fucking run the hash game. Do bubble. Make bubble hash into that. Like what the fuck, dude?
It's so hard to find an 8 out of 10 flour that's smooth and flavorful without any background noise, without any hotness, without, you know what I mean? It's.
I'll press stuff. I just pressed one a little while back. I was like, this might press. It was horrible. It was under 10%. Like it was bad. It was very bad. I don't like hash. I've had good presses. I've had presses over 30%. I had one that was crushing. That Bubba to Cherry West. The one I cut didn't press. It pressed okay. Not good enough to press, but it was better than under a gram. I think I got 1.5 grams back on 7, whatever that is, like 15 maybe, 15%. Right. But everything else I was pressing, the other shit that was dropping like 28 to 32 was the range on like maybe say 6 of them. I don't know. That's half conservative number. It was this different. It was a different pheno though. That one's got the terps. The one that was dropping, the ones that were dropping, and it was the majority. It was like 90% of these were leaning that fucking terpene profile, they were all pressing. The ones that didn't press were like the ones I wanted. The flower was just better. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really consider a fan of BHO because that hasn't been good in 10 years, but I would smoke flower rosin over BHO. But that's just because good BHO is not around anymore.
I'm just on principle. I'm sure there's good BHO. I don't hate on BHO, but I'd rather smoke something that's not touched by butane.
Yeah.
BHO has a view that it's cleaner.
I think the guys are using propane and getting fucking pretty good results, eh?
Like, dude, that what you just said, I'm more interested in that, dude. Fucking oil Piatella. It's like, yeah, that's more up my alley. I'd rather smoke that. I'd rather have something to roll up in a blunt and smoke it with some weed. I don't really care to do dabs, even though I'm a nose dab guy. I don't do dabs.
Yeah. What's going on over there in Australia?
I've got gas. I saw some butane. I was looking at it. My gas station has it, but it was like hidden. I was in there buying. I bought a sack of tobacco so I could roll a cigarette if I wanted to. I was tired of buying packs, and now I like roll a cigarette a day. That's all it takes. Then under the fucking tobacco butane, wouldn't you know?
It's got some yellow spots, and I thought I saw like a little white fly, but like I don't know if it was, just fungus gnats or was it white flies, but I'll show you guys. The plant still looks good, but it's so far in the flower.
I've never had white flies. That's one thing I've never had.
Yeah, me neither.
So they're probably coming
Everything
up
else, though.
fucking week now. They're probably fucking germinating at the moment. Got the door open.
I don't know what it is. I was just doing bro science. I saw like a little natty looking fly thing on the viewing screen. You know how the AC Infinity has the viewing screen where you can just open it and still close?
Yeah. So
put down those sticky traps you gave me and fucking.
Could be aphids. Like I had root aphids, and once root aphids grow to a certain size and they're able to fucking fly, they look like fungus gnats. Their wings are in a different spot. Yes, you have the sticky trap set up.
Yeah, I did it today once I noticed I saw something.
Yeah, that's what use sticky traps to identify whatever gets locked on there.
What the fuck is up, man?
When there's too many of them, they get a virus and then they get wings. The aphids, they get winged after they crowd up a leaf too much.
Root aphids were the worst. I hated those. Worse than russets, I think root aphids were. I can deal with russet mites, I think.
Yeah, let's check it out real quick.
Russets bring the terps.
Russets were horrible.
Best pressure brings.
Otherwise, she's looking pretty
bring
good.
The terps,
the little plants next to it.
Gorski.
Corey, did you order some chickens for your apartment building yet?
Jesus fucking Christ! I can't fucking order no chickens.
Well, I thought they gave you garden space. That you're allowed to have chickens in your garden space.
Bro, I don't need any more to do. I don't need any more to do.
Y'all know how the StreamYard shit is. It's hard to control the camera with its fucking.
Oh shit! Hold on, bro. Let me get you full screen there.
Turn your shit sideways, dude. Turn your camera sideways.
There we go. Bam. Now we rocking. Oh yeah, it's looking good in there, man. Fucking right.
It could be nutrient deficiency, but I saw that little bug. But see, my little one's in veg. Well, not in veg, they're in flower. They're in like week 1 flower, but they look fine for the most.
Did we freeze up?
Cutting out.
Hang on.
Oh, what is that?
God damn it.
Is that a thrip? Oh,
You want to see thrip, bro?
No.
I'll show you my fucking shit there. I got fucking
Not threat
thrip.
damage. It looks more like a nutrition deficiency, but
Yeah, on the edges. Yeah,
there's definitely some russet mite looking shit going on. But got that leathery and like all the corners are a little bit fucky, but
a lot of nitrogen. I don't know about.
Oh, that's what it's misdiagnosed as.
I don't see russets, but I also.
It's either that or just your pH is just a little bonkers and preventing some things from going in because your veg plants are still looking decent, but they're definitely showing a little bit of high pH probably in the root zone. But not bad though. I mean, you still got pretty good sized buds for sure, bro.
Yeah, man. Like after that's done, I would smoke the fuck out of it.
Yeah, 100%.
She's a producer. I mean, I did very little training. Oh, fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was one thing where plant therapy didn't get me through was russets. I think I sprayed 10 days straight.
There's no way it will. Yeah, there's no way.
2 ounces per gallon, and it didn't. I went to sulfur.
Okay, well, I'll show my. I got 8 1-gallons in the veg tent. I got 4 blueberry purple dragons and 4 honey banana Talimon starbursts from Masonic.
They are the right color.
Yeah, they look healthy as fuck, man.
Yep. How many are in there?
Something's going on in there.
The tent just gets hot as shit.
Something's going on.
Yeah, something's going on in that one too. I double check that.
Something's going on in the veg tent?
Yeah, for sure. Your tips are still yellow. There's something still going on there.
Corey, you got a way better eye than I do there, but
I'd be careful. Yeah, something's definitely going on there.
I agree. Better eye than me. Veg looks, I'd say, okay.
Corey, you don't even want to come into my grow there. You'd be like, holy fuck, you need to start over.
Oh no, man, shit. I haven't restarted on russet mites. I haven't even restarted when they were fucking putting blue booties on the Rockwell cubes to like keep the fucking all of the things in. So yeah, I love to like battle and like bring the beneficials. Got to do some sprays sometimes for sure. Like russet mites are fucked up, man. You got to definitely do wettable sulfur and get through that shit. So.
I didn't want to tell you this, but I bought a UVC light.
Oh man, put it in your air handler or something like that. Put it in your air thing, but on your plants, don't use it on your plants.
Oh, I did put it in front of my flow hood. First day I got it, I put it in front of my flow hood for half an hour.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
Is that the one they say to use for insects and shit for like 10 minutes or whatever?
Yeah. This is a UVC sterilizer that I bought from Amazon that I figured I'd try out.
Dude, I've got
Damon swears by it.
The biggest waste of money I ever bought was a 300 watt UVC light. It's a monster. I had to build a box for it, and then had like a 8-inch vent that came off to an 8-inch AC infinity pulling out of the box. So the light turned on with the fan, like there's a pressure switch to turn it on. I got powdery mildew with this fucking thing running like 24/7 basically. I can't remember what it was. But I was like, how the fuck am I still getting powdery mildew with this bulb? Like, I'm doing something so wrong. The bulb didn't even fix it.
Fuck, eh?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. Biggest waste of money I've spent so far.
I hear that's always on Hash Church with Bubble Man, or someone Bubble Man recommends something about UVC or UVB or one of them for insects.
Yeah, but you have to understand that it's like a monetized message, man. He says that and he fucking makes money off of that shit. So
yeah, that's the GML lights, I believe, eh?
So I had this big long. I guess to sum it up, like I was turning my air conditioner on at night. When my lights were turning off, I had my AC timer. I had my AC set to turn on to like drop the temperature because like I'm gonna fight the humidity. If my AC turns on when the lights turn off, sucks out all that humidity, I'll be good to go. That sparked a powdery mildew nightmare. Enough to where that light, the UVC light, fucking overkill UVC light for the room at that, didn't matter. I was still getting PMs. What the fuck am I doing? So I don't run that UVC light. I haven't ran it in at least a year at this point, maybe 2. I haven't had a powdery mildew issue. Like, I just quit running the AC when the lights turned off. Good to go since then.
Yeah, I'm of the personal opinion that you should just like buy lights that are actually just like helping the plant grow, and I don't think that like that light technology has anything to fucking do with bugs and getting rid of them. What does have to do with bugs is having healthy plants. That's like a really good thing to do. And then having like a nutritional balance in there, so you don't like create a susceptible host that is also, you know, have that issue with the pest. And then also just like having your environment in there, you know, like if you can have a power outage and still have your dehum blowout and still not get powdery mildew, you're doing a really good fucking job in your room, right? You don't need no fucking fancy ass light to like, you know, insert whatever. Like like at my grow and at scale, I'm doing living soil and like there's zero thrip damage almost. Like there's very, very, very minimal. And like living soil, there's fucking thrip all the time. But like if I can fucking pack 600 plants in a tiny room and still not have like an abundance of thrip pressure, I don't have any fancy fucking lights to like nuke the fucking, you know what I mean? And I'm not rushing out to buy those lights at scale either. So yeah, I don't know. There's some of these things that like they sound fucking super cool, but like to be honest with you, you can do a lot of stuff for free and then not fucking, you know, pay for a light for no fucking reason, I think. No.
My light was pretty cheap though. It wasn't like an expensive fucking, it's just like a UVC bulb with a
I'm calling out those lights specifically that like fucking like the Bubble Man. I know, like I love Bubble Man for sure, but I've said Marcus to his face that those fucking lights are ridiculous. So yeah, it's just
Yeah, I mean, supposedly the guy introduced all the shit to his plants to see if it would work when he was testing it, and it worked, and yada yada yada. But you know what I mean?
Did he verify that he didn't do like anything environmental? Did he verify it on like a bunch of different cultivars? Like,
I mean, sure, I'm sure he did. But I mean, where's the proof? He doesn't have it documented. How do I know he introduced it? You know what I mean? You could just resign some product.
Yeah, I mean, like Marcus is pretty legit though. Like honestly, like he's done a lot of good stuff for the community. So I'm not like trying to drag nobody in that sort of way. But just when people start selling these snake oil things, I have zero fucking patience for it.
So even if, let's say it works, let's say there's some the technology works and does knock down your pest pressure. If you can buy a light that's the equivalent for a third of the price, and you know how to handle pest pressure yourself. It's just not. I don't think it's worth the squeeze. Even if it's the shit. That's where it just doesn't.
I agree with you.
I just use West Coast plant therapy. You know what I mean? And spray them during veg, and I've been pretty fine. You know.
That's just your practices. You gotta. I let the cats go in my bedroom. The cats sometimes, if they fuck around, they can sneak in. It happens a couple times a year where a cat will get in the flower room. They kind of know not to go to the flower room, but they love the bedroom. So that's where I just have to be consistent. I've got predator mites that like seem to be surviving. They carry on. It's like I don't know how the fuck it's working, but I've got rove beetles. I bought 100 rove beetles. Now I got in one pot. Fuck, when I water this one pot, I'll see 3. I don't know. They're crawling all over this fucking thing. So I can take that and spread it out. They live. All my predators. They last a minute. I've only bought 2 times. I had to re-up maybe like a year ago, and then I got some shit for russet mites at the same time. That's why I put an order in. I've only put like 2 orders in for predators, and like my soil's pretty locked down. The root aphid thing happened early. After that, I was like, I need shit in my soil. So I don't know. I'm sort of geared to like trying to keep those little fuckers alive. Since I got them, I was just trying to keep them alive, which caused problems with other shit. And it's been a learning curve, but it's like I can go take my shit up to the garage and remix it, and somehow like these fuckers are still around. So that's why I'm wondering why you have beds, and like I feel like if I had beds, I would just have like they'd be there with living on the top dress. And there's definitely ways to maintain them. And like
that's why I got rid of my bed.
I cook. I cook my rooms in between just to make sure that I don't have anything like super crazy like powdery mildew that's kicking around, because there used to be a problem in the building before I got there with that. So there's some science involved in nuking the room and killing powdery mildew spores in there. So
I did that. I had my shit up to like 105. Yeah, I turned my fucking I did that one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they'll just fucking shrivel up and die. But on the counter side of that, all your beneficials are gonna fucking shrivel up and die. So I did have to like purchase to replace them for sure. But yeah, like beneficials are definitely the way to go. Like having a diverse population, and it's honestly not that expensive. And especially if you can make them like continue the cycles like you've talked about, because I've heard you say this a few times. It's pretty fucking interesting.
Well, knocked down. Like I've got some thrips and flower right now. And the plants that they were on, I don't want to spray in flower at all. Once shit goes into that room, I try not to spray. But like a week ago or whenever, I saw these thrips. I was like, fuck. So these plants were overgrown. I 2 weeks stripped them out and took care of all the undergrowth. And after I did that, I sprayed the fuck out of them. And they were maybe 10 days in the flower. It might have been before 2 weeks even. Didn't touch anything else in there. Maybe you got a little bit of overspray, but that's where it's like, well, at least it's plant therapy and it won't kill you. But yeah, just to try to knock them down. I forget where I was fucking going with that.
I imagine it's a lot harder to get rid of them in a room than a little tent, though, right? I mean, a tent you can kind of close up and sterilize more so than a room, I would say. But
running perpetuals a bitch. That's my problem. Is the plants
you got shit drying, and then there's like pests on the stuff that's drying, and you know what I mean. It's like you can never really get rid of everything in the same building at the same time. There, it's fucking hard to get rid of everything.
That's where I need rose beetles. When I have fucking a few thrips popping up in flower, I'm doing what I can to knock down what the fuck's going on, stripping it out, spraying it. But now I got rose beetles chilling in that pot that are eventually gonna knock them down. Eventually, that seems to work out that way.
Yeah, the thrips are probably hopping to your new growth plants that you put in there too, and the nitrogen levels are going to be high, so it just kind of is a consistent food source for them too in that way.
I was thinking about getting some ladybugs and some rose beetles for my outdoor.
I'll keep you posted. They
only went like a week and a half into flower. You know, I just put them out just a little early.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of mixed things on ladybugs. It's I think it's better to get them like locally if you can, because I think if you buy them from like other places where they are, they'll just kind of fucking try to fly away and essentially like find where they're supposed to go. But yeah, I mean, shit in the outdoor, yeah. Or like I have a buddy who always he still like buys one online, but he kind of creates like a net system so that they don't fucking get the fuck out of there right away, and they kind of like chill and start eating on the plant and stay there. Yeah, those are just a couple of things. I don't use them personally because, like I said, I really fucking love Cucumaris, and Swirsky is a alternative for that as far as like beneficials are concerned. Cucumaris is like the cheapest beneficial bug on the market. Yeah, and they're generalists. They just fucking go after like everything. So it's pretty nice. But if you have like a infestation of SERPs, then like Swirsky's are definitely the way to go. But yeah, I mean, outdoors a different game too, right? Like you're gonna have some bugs outside, right? Like you're gonna have a little bit of pressure, so and that's okay. Like as long as you're not finding like big fucking giant adults kicking around like all the time, like you're kind of you'll have a little bit, you know.
Well, man, it's crazy. Like I went from like all of my plants being infested with thrips. All I did was bring that shit outside, and like none of my plants have any fucking pests whatsoever now. Makes no sense. Like it's like,
I got a coneflower. I've got a million fucking aphids on a coneflower in the middle of my yard, but all the aphids are on the coneflower. My fucking the Vietnamese out there. All my weed. I have ants crawling over a couple of the volunteers. They're not farming them yet, but there was a bunch of ants crawling on.
Yeah.
But
I would go put ant traps everywhere.
That's
what I have to do.
Under my patio, the ants are working. There's sand under there, like It's set up for ants, it seems like.
Yo, in my fucking veggie garden, I saw like 50 fucking ants going to war with one of my fucking worms in the bed. It was crazy. Yeah, man. It was fucking all out war going on. They're all ganging up on the worm, like ripping it to parts and shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on under my bed right now?
Well, it's not good for you, but you know what I mean.
Dude, it's wild. Like, I've never seen that before. It was super cool. I fucking love Bug Wars. It's like entertaining as shit, but like that kind of was.
Any sick nature like that, like Nature's Metal Channel, like shit like that. I love it.
Yeah. Bro, it was fire. But like, man, that's concerning because like I like my wormies. It's fucking free labor in my soil. I don't want them to get fucked up. So yeah, I gotta take care of those motherfuckers.
Ants are not your friend.
No, bro. They fucking suck.
Dude, like, I got rid of every fucking thing in this room. The only thing I had was a fucking tray of clones, and I had it in this little shelf that I made that I had it wrapped in poly, and inside I made like a little fucking hole, and I had an air purifier in there, and that air purifier would suck clean air through a filter and then keep that little tent like a positive pressure. Well, I came home and there was fucking aphids in there, dude. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's like I killed everything and except for like these little, like how the fuck? It was the ants, man. The ants farm the aphids.
Yeah, they do.
My garage.
Yeah, they do.
And when I would fucking eliminate them all, they would wait a certain amount of time and then they would bring the babies back.
Yeah.
And fucking plant them on my plants. And they did it. They did it again this summer, dude. After not having aphids for like fucking like almost 2 years. I seen the ants. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, aphids.
Yeah, they do for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Like,
they were farming them.
They farmed a fucking, like, how did they keep a baby aphid alive for 2 fucking years? And
They probably found a new one. They probably found a new one, to be honest with you. But they do fucking farm the shit out of aphids, man. My fucking we had an apple tree, and it was just like it turned into a fucking aphid ant farm. It was insane. Oh yeah, dude.
Alien ant farm.
Man, there's a crack in my garage floor, and on several occasions I've come in here, and like out from the crack has been like a swarm of ants, and they're like invading my entire garage, and it's like fuck, like dude, it's scary. It's like some fucking creepy movie I seen in the fucking 80s there, about the fucking, I don't know, all these flies coming out of a hole there. I don't know if that rings a bell to anybody.
My God.
I'm surprised my plants are doing as good as they are. I mean, I'm in the middle of the woods with 5 acres. It's all trees, and state forest is behind me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing but bugs out here. The good old diatomaceous earth and some fucking plant therapy is about all we got. It's worked somewhat. It's definitely worked for.
Yeah, get sulfur. Gotta get sulfur in the mix.
I hear burning sulfur is bad though.
You'll burn it.
Well, I mean, I hear sulfur is bad.
Sulfur's a nutrient for the plant, my guy.
Okay.
No, it's good. It's all good. I just love that's like all constantly what people say, and I'm like, no, man, you're literally fully feeding the plant when you give it wettable sulfur, like mix it in water. You're literally fully feeding your plant straight up.
Well, just like I heard there's a lot of silica in diatomaceous earth, but you know what I mean? Would that necessarily be good to give to your plant?
No, I wouldn't put that on your plant tissue. Your diatomaceous earth is a totally different beast for sure. That shit's fucking, yeah, a little bit more lethal that way. That's a soil only type of shit, or like outside of your box, for example. But yeah, I wouldn't be putting that on my leaf tissue. Yeah, no.
I could use that as to help to get rid of bugs, you know what I mean? Sprinkle it around the pots outside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does a good kind of layered thing on the outside. But yeah, wettable sulfur, russet mites. It definitely gets rid of russet mites. That's like a number one for sure. And then definitely a good preventative for PM. I was doing that for a little bit when shit was a little bit gnarly when I took over the new facility. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we found the russet mites afterwards, but yeah, it was, man, fucking gnarly, but spraying it for sure. Yeah, burning sulfur is fucking sketchy. I wholeheartedly agree with that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried it a while ago. I fucking rigged up a few fucking contraptions to try to fucking burn it efficiently there. I had these candles and fucking, yeah, it wasn't a good experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the elemental. I spray it, but the trick is okay. So I just ran into thrips because I was spraying sulfur because fuck crescent mites. But now these thrips didn't exactly. And maybe I lax. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like thrips give a fuck about sulfur as much as a russet mite. So I got thrips.
Well, hey, I just heard multiple preventatives is good. You know what I mean? So if I did sulfur, then I could just rotate it.
The trick is you can't spray the two. Like I heard 2 weeks. I haven't really pressed the issue much on it, but you don't want to spray plant therapy because it's oil or alcohol based or whatever behind sulfur you'll burn your plants.
Okay.
Something will happen. You don't want to spray it. So I'll wait like 2 weeks.
So right now, they're not supposed to mix or some fucking thing like that, but
no.
Like if noticeably you can see that you're spraying it on new plant tissue and you've pruned off the old stuff, I wouldn't be worried.
If you're like properly applying sulfur at the correct rate, I wouldn't be applying any oil-based product within 4 to 6 weeks. Preferably even like 8. Because I've seen fucking plants melt. Like fucking straight up melt.
I haven't had a problem at 2 weeks, but I don't go much before 2 weeks. I'm going plant therapy now hard.
What's your sulfur rate though?
It's 30 mils per gallon.
Yeah, you're a little low. So you can get away with that for sure, but I'm spraying like double that. And that's what most people like. That's a recommended. The double that is what's recommended to get rid of russet mites. I don't like the residue that comes with it, to be honest with you. But yeah, the double that rate is what we use for to try and get rid of those fucking russet mites.
I'll get a bit of the residue, and it depends where I'm at. Some plants look more depending if I'm at the end of the fucking tank or whatever. But
yeah.
The residue's not terrible.
Word.
Some leaves are worse than others, but not terrible.
Yeah, half the rate it shouldn't be too terrible, but then I would just question like how well you're getting rid of those russet mites like at an efficient, you could probably be doing a couple less sprays if you just smash it a little bit harder.
Noted.
You're back, bro.
You don't want to be a moron, man. I'm trying not to be a moron.
I know, it's all good, bro. I just don't want people to fucking melt their plants because I've seen people give that kind of 2 week thing and then all of a sudden their plants melt and then they're really pissed off. And it's like, well, all the guidance that I've ever had was a minimum of 4 weeks and, closer to like 6 to 8 for a lot of other things. So I just always like to be cautious, It's like the biggest like difference from my brain when I used to be in the 4x4 and now at scale is just kind of, you kind of think about things a little bit differently. So that's why I just always had the 2 cents in there. It's fucking dope to always be back with the fucking at home folks. I fucking miss it so much. So I've had to take a break because it just like fucking burns you out, man. It's crazy.
That's kind of what I want to do is run a facility. I want to different. Well, it's not really my end goal, but I mean, in order to single source my own hash, and do enough to intercom test and sell it,
Yeah.
I mean, I have to.
Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to be a bummer about it either, but it's a fucking serious adventure, bro.
Corey's a cunt.
I do a lot of people do it, but I just love hash and love the plant so much that I would do it. I would do it at a fucking cut in money. You know what I mean? As long as I could break even.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what we're doing up here out of the passion folks that are still left like actually in it, because there's been some pretty soul sucking shit when you have to go legal and abide by rules and regulations and audits, and like I send my fucking flower to like Australia and Germany and the UK and stuff, so I'm up for like serious audits and stuff. And
I already got 5 acres that I could build, kind of do like a Turk mansion type thing once, and I'll do it black market if I have to. You know what I mean? Like I don't mind. I think I could have a little indoor building built that could be low key enough. You know what I mean? And big enough.
Yeah, we don't see prices up here anymore for that type of stuff. It's like everyone's pounds are going for like not even like laughable amounts of money. Like
I just picked up some of the best weed from Exotic Flavors in somewhere in the Golden Triangle, or not Golden Triangle. That's Asia, isn't it? The Emerald Triangle. And I think it was Mendocino. I forget, but he said the distro is paying $400 a pound. I had like 100 pounds, but still, like Jesus Christ.
yeah.
And that's weed. I mean, I get there's still $1,000 ounces that sell out, and that market might not ever change because it's already so small. And people that want good weed are always gonna, get good weed. But the middle
Yeah, that's
and
who I'm growing for right now. Yeah. That's really what I want is those people who fucking, kind of that high price shit where it's actually like good fucking quality because that's what we're caring about. Like I'm in it to win it in that kind of way. It's definitely
I won't sell an ounce for less than 1,400.
You're fucking ridiculous, Fuzzy.
North Cal Nemo sells theirs for 1,600. New York pays it all day. They pay double for it. Fucking the United Kingdom, like it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
And I don't hate them. I look at cannabis as art. I look at Hatch as art. You know what I mean? Like just like you would pay fucking 20,000-30,000 for a Derby. You know what I mean? For some of the craziest small batch for an experience, I believe. You know what I mean? I don't.
Oh man, I'm working to put fucking 16 to 18 week flowering strains into the legal market, dude. Trust. I definitely understand what fucking like. Yeah, I know, man.
Most facilities will only do like 64, 65.
Oh man, yeah.
They're trying to dry it in a week and fucking get it.
No, I'm fucking 10 weeks, dude. I go in like every single fucking bay with a microscope and like check my trikes and everything else, nutrition reports. Like there's a whole fucking it's just different. I'm just doing it different. So. And it's like it took a long time to like actually get to like this spot too because of all the fucking craziness also. So yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
If the weed's smoking, man, proper doinks. I know both the dudes, and they do some crazy, like they're doing Mitten Master versus Wizard Trees right now. High rollers bracket for $60,000. Probably the biggest prize that's ever been given for And Wizard Trees weed isn't that crazy expensive, you know what I mean? I don't think Mitten Master is either. It's not like Elephant's Growth or fucking, North Cal Nemo shit or that cookie shit from cookie jar. Grandma's cookies. Fuck. Who does that? Cash Freemason. You know what I mean? Shit like that. But hey, I mean, those are two dope ass breeders and growers. You know what I mean? They're weed smoking, so it's gonna be a good battle. But yeah, man, if you're weed smoking, you can get it on their show for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to bang wherever we're going. We're getting like top notch in the European Union and the Australian market, so it's really nice to see that and hear that. And yeah, just trying to find my like fucking like number one go-to. There's just a couple of different things in the market that I'm trying to figure out about, and I'm almost there.
But how does it but how does it smoke? You know what I mean? It's nothing on potency. It's all strictly on categories and flavor and smoothness and whether it lasts all the way down the joint. And they got all the science to where they customize their own perfect glass tips that are dope as fuck, and they sell for some of the sculpted ones for tens of thousands. And you know what I mean? And it's a 3.5 doink. They feel it's optimum for flavor. Any more, any less, it will burn too fast, and the cherry will, be too hot. You know what I mean? So they really got the tech down, and I trust them as heads. You know what I mean? Like I've smoked with them. I know they know fire. So it's pretty cool. It's like a little weed UFC. Bruce Buffer, you know what I mean? Bruce Buffer won the finals, so you'd be able to say your cultivation name. You know what I mean? It's cool, it's quirky, but it's dope.
Man, Gorski, you're like in and out of the matrix, my guy. What's going on?
I'm just fucking closing up shop, fucking around at the store.
Attaboy. You doing good, man?
Oh yeah, for sure, hanging in there. It's the fucking somber week. Going through paperwork on, but we're sure just taking it up and the chickens trying to stay sane. And, yeah, but fucking, I had very limited seeds from my girlfriend, and I have a sour diesel seed, and I had the seed pop. The plant was good, and I was repotting with my son, and he got ahead of himself and fucking hoisted one of the plants out of the pots and was ready like, Dad, and I'm like, oh, dude. And fucking, I couldn't tell which one was which, so I was like, maybe sour D is the plant fucking all year, right?
That's
so
hilarious.
I finally had like a chance to like get a seed in the soil, and it just popped yesterday. So it was
Nice.
kind of funny. I chuckled, and I've got another plant called JR's clone, because his name was John Robert, and is John Robert, whichever way you want to look at it. But yeah, I've got some seeds that I worked on last summer in his memory, and I didn't get around to popping any of those, but I was really stoked to get the sour D out. So it was pretty funny when I saw it yesterday. I was kind of chuckling.
Nice.
And I gave some seeds to a friend who does here landscaping. How I met her, and she's like, "I'm just doing one at a time, just because keep up the tags and the plants. You know what it is." And I was like, "Yep, I know exactly how it is." So that's pretty good. That's just the top notch. Pretty stoked about it.
Nice. That's dope, bro. I'm definitely stoked to hear. But yeah, I wanted to just to jump on. I'm glad you made it back, because I just wanted to jump on for a few minutes, actually, and just spend a few minutes with you, because I know we've talked a lot. We've talked a lot over the last few months, right? So yeah, that's one of the first times that I've actually heard you say it like that explicitly to like anybody out in public before, and it it sounded like in a little bit of a different tone. So I just wanted to make sure that you're fucking doing good, because I just kind of sensed the universe in the Gorski a little bit. So yeah, bro, I fucking love you. I just want to make sure you're doing okay. So
well, thank you.
Yeah.
So it's definitely interesting to be happy, and it's like when you have people to celebrate with, and you have things that are so close to you and so dear to you, and it's like you never understand that. But I did feel it, and they say that people that are owners about, I don't know, I think it's like 2 kilometers away, and something close to that, and I felt the connectivity with my son every time I would get home, and like to come home to a different kind of existence. So it's gonna be okay. It's not okay now, but it's better with friends and cannabis and chickens and so I think it's going to take a long time to understand how to be. I don't feel like I don't know. When you get hear the clock ticking and there's no noise whatsoever, it's daunting. But it's better with FCP.
Fucking right, bro.
I jones
I hear you.
for the moments of like, and I appreciate the fact that Peter's done such a wonderful job. So many awesome people to almost have a show like every day. You know?
Yeah, bro, 100%. 100%. So yeah, no, it's good. Like I'm glad that you have the confidence to share some of that shit with us too, because I think that's fucking good with you, to be honest with you. So yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, glad we can be here for you, brother.
Bro, it's been a while, and it's I don't melt to pieces talking about it and stuff, but it's just so like whoever you are, wherever you are, if you're listening now, just remember it can never ever be that bad to just forgive and forget and hug the ones you love. Because like when I had to make sure that my mom was sitting down on the phone, her and I weren't talking, and like I had to tell her, and then I had to like tell my brother, and like they came and they visited, and everything was squashed within a second. And like I just hope people can understand how binary time is and how important it is. Just really appreciate everything that goes with being dad and everything that goes along with being a husband or everything that goes along with being a son or a brother. Like there's so much intricacies to love and respect and dignity and life. And it's all been shown to me in a brutal manner, but I walk so soft nowadays. It's incredible. I appreciate the time I spent with my son. How short it was. 3 years, man. It was so short. I think it's really important for people to understand how important life is, and your wife and kid and or your husband. I mean, like it's incredibly important. Because you know, it just fucking get drugged the fuck out, dude, and you have nothing.
Oh yeah, it's like we were really talking about some shit. It was like first, like Kevin told that pretty wicked story about that fucking note, right, about his kid and how it was like his kid was even like just thankful for the time that he spent with him, and he was like, "Whoa, fuck me." He's like, "That shouldn't be what my kid is telling me. I should be like there for my kid, like undoubtedly without it. So take that time." And then you fucking hit me up like right after that and fucking told me that shit, and I was just like, I need to absolutely slow down and just make sure I figure it out. There's like something happening in the universe right now that is just knocking the shit out of me and trying to teach me a lesson. So yeah, it was really, really super important for me. So.
Oh, it's so incredibly important to understand like all the fun times and all the crummy times. Like my son was amazing, and I know every father's gonna say that, but like he didn't have tantrums. We didn't really like. I thought about it just today, or I can't remember exactly. Like, I don't let him have ice cream like once. You know, be like very candy and like he would be out in the garden with me, or using a rake, or using a hoe, or using a shovel, or like having me play with his toys, or playing like with his mom, but like. All those times were just so precious, and like each parent that there was a lady that came in. I'll give you an example. There was a lady that came in, and there was a film fest going on, and her husband was judged for one of the films, right? And she was talking to me, and she's like, "Oh, it's so tough with a toddler. I don't know, you know, like he'd get to go see something, and I'd be watching him, and then." I'd go watch something and he'd be watching him, and he got to go see the film that he was judging, but it's just so tough. And then I told her my story, like kind of, and then she started crying, dude. And I was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry." And she's like, "My son's almost 3. You just reminded me of how important it is to spend." And I was like, "I know. like you got to watch a film, your husband got to watch a film, but like spending time with your son is the most important part of your life now. So like film festival, that's great, but just being able to tell you're on vacation with your husband at film festival for free, and you get to spend time with your 3-year-old.
I wouldn't. I'm a single father, right? And I got my wife left when I had a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old, right? And I take care of my mom. I get paid as a caregiver a little bit to help take care of her. That's what me and my wife moved in here for, paid off the house. So, you know what I mean? Someone that gets to spend every waking moment with his kids, you know what I mean? I wouldn't, I got off drugs because of having kids. They're almost my entire world. And I couldn't see how any parent could, I get parents have to work, and I'm just in a blessed situation where I don't have to work at the moment. I'm sure I'll have to go back to work eventually, but while they're 6 and 8, man, it's so precious. And I got my 6-year-old in the garden. It's so dope to be around people that are not putting you down because your kid is helping you mix soil and stuff. It's like, he's 6, he has no interest in cannabis, but you can grow a tomato the same way. You can, you know what I mean? Like, it's useful. This is dope. It's really cool to be in a community where such like-minded people.
He was helping me transplant. I'll have to post it on my Insta. But my step stool, he used it as a table. So he sat in the one chair, used the other step as a table, and he set a couple plants down on it, and he picked the plants up in a clear cup from Monty. He worked at Starbucks. And it's like one of the best pictures I have of him holding a plant, because he was helping me like train, dude, at 2, and then working a hoe at 3. So, I mean, whenever I'm sad, whenever I'm happy, I say hello to him, and I'm probably gonna run some of those seeds again, and pretty soon. I had 20, 25 or something like that last summer. So they all got seeded up. I think I had like, I don't know, 15 females and 12 males or something. I have pictures like it, but it was pretty cool anyways, nonetheless. So eventually I'll have that line out there for them. JR's thing.
How old is your son?
Pardon?
How old is your son?
Oh, he was 3. He was 3, and then he had his birthday April 17th, and then the accident was on the 29th.
What happened?
He drowned in the neighbor's pond.
Oh wow!
So yeah. And then
yeah, man. Same thing. Homie's kid. He was in a car backed up into a river. He drowned. His sister got out.
Yeah.
That's just fucking horrible, man.
Can't imagine.
Yeah, it's like, I had a really good breakfast with him, and Daddy and son were having a good breakfast, and then the dogs broke open the fence, and he followed the dogs over the neighbor's pond. Well, I was in the bathroom, and
that's one of my worst fears, being with them by myself, being with a fucking 6-month-old baby. You know what I mean? I didn't think I could get through those. You know what I mean? Because they're everywhere. From
oh yeah, no,
like 4.
I go over that day every day in my mind, and it's really fucking brutal because everything was fine all those years. Everything was good the last 2 years, he'd play in his sandbox for hours, playing with the chickens, playing with the dogs. He wasn't even really into the dogs. Like he didn't play with them as much as them just sitting around the yard.
So it wasn't like he was rambunctious a lot and always trying to run away or run off. Or...
No, he would sit in his sandbox for hours, and I'll never ever be able to understand why or how. And it definitely is. Yeah, I mean, and while he was away, I was running around frantically looking for him, and in that time I was looking for him. You know, when he didn't have someone there to help him, and it was the irrigation in my house was off, and like the pond wasn't even full, like they didn't tell us that they turned it on, and like when I went over there, it was like waist deep, so it wasn't even like it probably started filling that day.
You think he tripped and fell underneath and stuff?
It was a cliff. He didn't know. And these are all just assumptions, man. And it's a haunting.
It's a fucked up thing to even ponder, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's just, like I said, man, you know, people are gonna look at it abstract and say what I could have, should have done, or I can just live with this for the rest of my life and figure it out. But there's never any time that goes by that I don't feel so regret.
I mean, damn, dude. It's, you know, they say this is, I know this is food for thought. I don't know if you're religious, but my ex-wife had a baby with my brother, and I just got done fighting with her in court for fucking 3 years. I won full custody in Florida as a male, but it wasn't always that happy. You know what I mean? It was real fucked up, and everyone would always say, "Oh, God puts his strongest soldiers through the strongest battles." You know what I mean? This could happen to a lesser man, and he would have offed himself, or you know what I mean? It's I don't know if that's any consolation, but Jesus Christ, man! I mean, you look like you're holding up somewhat fine. You know what I mean? You're able to smoke, still able to grow, talk to your friends about it. You know what I mean? So.
And the first time I heard Gorski talk, I was like, man, this dude is like on another level of like awesomeness. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is super rad. Like, I need to talk to this dude. And then, yeah, he like tells me all of this, and I'm like, what? Like, that's like, you're basically like the equivalent to like a Buddha to me in that way. I'm like, you're like super peaceful and super fun loving and like always like on the up and up, and like, yeah, I was just like fucking like what? Yeah. So it's just, you know, but like it's the same thing though. Like to say all of that stuff with like that happening was just like, yeah, you're like put yourself in like an elite tier status as like a human being, because that's crazy to me. I would never say anything good about probably anything. Like, you know, obviously I can't put myself in that position. I don't ever want to do that, right? But like, I get upset about a lot less things than that. And if that like happened to me, like, man,
I wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, yeah. I can't. I wouldn't be able to do it, man. So. I mean, here's to that, you know what I'm saying? So
the problem was that I was listening to like Ram Dass, the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, Terence McKenna, and like praying to the stars and the moon and the sun, like before this stuff happened. And then this stuff happened, and I'm like, wait, like, what did I just do? What cosmos and quasars did I awaken to put me in this sort of position to test my might and to answer my questions of like, what could be worse than Orion sitting in the stars forever, existing in battle, carrying his bow? You know what I mean? Like being philosophical and shit. And then they were like, oh, would you like to know? Here. And it's like, fuck. Like,
Yeah, it's probably one of the one things I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. You know, some of the most scummy of the earth. You know what I mean? To lose a child is almost the worst thing that can happen to a human being.
yeah. So, like, to sit and ponder what it's like to sit in the stars for eternity, what could be worse torture than that? I think I got the answer. And it's like, I mean, you know, and that's all like, these are my humble opinions. This is what I ponder now. Perhaps it's not what I'll ponder in a year from now, but it's important to reiterate how finite time is and how important it is to just be aware of your surroundings and try to feel love and not be so quick to anger or quick to judge. Because I can't say shit about anybody for the rest of my life without fucking really thinking about my life and my situation and my particular circumstances, because, you know, I don't have any room to say anything to anybody because really brutal accidents happen to anyone. So, yeah, and then the divorce is getting sticky, and my soon-to-be.
You have other kids?
No, unfortunately.
And
you know, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, my friend.
I lose one of them, I can at least lean on the other. You know, fuck.
Nah, man. Like I talked to this one lady in this group, and she unfortunately
works though. You know, to still have a kid living that lost a brother. You know, yeah. I don't know.
No, I talked to one of the people that I work with, and she said that she lost her sister, and her parents weren't the same afterwards, and she's surprised they stayed together. And then I talked to another lady that lost her daughter, and she still had a daughter, but she was apart from her husband for like a year. And like, I don't think there's any going back after this. The writing's on the wall, but I have, you know, not to sound.
Were you guys happy before?
What's that?
Were you guys happy before the thing happened?
Oh yeah, I mean, we had a good marriage. My wife was great. She was amazing mother. So good with the kids. But, you know, I think underlying issues in any relationship, the glue that holds them together is the children.
Yeah.
So
sometimes not even that, you know.
So
but my ex is a piece of shit. She's a decent mother, but she's a piece of shit.
Yeah, man. No, and like I said, you know, I can't really put my 2 cents in on what I think about anyone now, because it's just it's all hindsight, man.
I couldn't say that about her. My kids are sleeping, thank God, and I always have the highest things to say around my kids, you know what I mean? But for crying out loud, she had a baby with my brother, you know what I mean? And that was after she cheated on me with someone else, you know what I mean? So she didn't even cheat on me with my brother, you know? So, and she left the kids at 4 months and 2 years old.
Wow.
And didn't try to get them back until they were 4, 5, and fucking 6, 7, you know?
Yeah.
Crazy. Trying to get him back living in a fucking shelter.
Wow.
It's like, she's like, oh, I'm starting to get my shit together. The court's like, nah, they're going to stay in the house they've lived in their whole life. I'm like, thank you. Took fucking like 2 years for that shit.
Brutal, dude. Thanks for sharing. That's just not every day.
Like, that's a fucked up story, but man, you kind of got my fucked up story beat. But hey, man, at least we can smoke the plant and, you know, be around like-minded individuals. And
No, like you know what I've said before, and it bears repeating is the therapy for me nowadays is growing the plant. I get too much into my head lately smoking it. And I haven't found a cultivar yet that calms my nerves to the point where I feel comfortable in my own skin. I'd rather do DMT or mushrooms or what else? Ketamine. Because I use it therapeutically. I don't use it recreationally anymore because I just feel like, and like DMT scares the shit out of me now because I just feel like the universe is kind of upset with me. And then like cannabis, I don't know how to explain it, but it just makes me feel a little bit anxious. And then
it could be cult. I mean, there is a few particular strains out there that are just feel good weed. I know the White Thorn Rose. It was bred to be kind of like what the kind of weed that you know, and it was bred by the dude's mom, and the guy that grows it's some 56-year-old dude, and he's up there with Ridgeline. I forget Huckleberry Hill Farms, and yeah, from everyone I hear, it's incredible, and it's feel good weed. It's not couch lock. It's any time of day weed, but it's not, you know, it's very like you just feel good, you know.
yeah, that's what I heard James Loud talking about it, and I think Helpful Harry was talking about it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard a few people talk about that particular variety and say that it's a feel good, and the concentrate comes out fire.
Yeah, I've only had the concentrate, but yeah, it was incredible. I'm a hash guy myself, you know, I like solventless hash and melt.
I got a bunch of plants, and like I was kind of looking forward to actually sifting them, getting some of the seeds out because I have like pounds on pounds of fucking flour that's seeded up, bins on bins of fucking.
Wash it or sift it. Hell yeah, that's the best use of it, in my opinion.
I'm gonna sift it. I'm probably gonna sift it and not wash it just because. But yeah, I'll just fucking, you know, because I left my plants whole from last season, and dude, when I open up the bag or when I open up the bin, dude, I got like kind of high off this, just the smells alone sitting there for 20, 30 minutes next to the bin being open, and it's like, why am I anxious?
Yeah, it's those terpenes.
What the fuck is going on? Yeah, the volatile terpenes that come out of the bin.
Yeah.
Dude, I was just like, okay.
But some of them off gas at fucking, you know what I mean? If the room's even like 67 or 68, it's gonna, you know, some volatiles will off gas. So makes sense.
Yeah, man, fucking. I'm looking forward to it. And then I was listening to that guy that was talking about the landrace genetics. I can't remember his name. He was just a younger guy. He was on last night with Future Cannabis Project, but they were talking about how they buy the cream and how they pre-book it so that when they go, they get like the badass hash. And those guys usually wait like a year, so there's barely any terpenes whatsoever, if not at all. And it's basically just the heads. And it just kind of gave me hope again because I was like, oh shit, I got tons of heads.
Yeah, sure. Do you have the screens? Could you break the heads down finer?
Well, I mean, I have my trim bag.
That some of it.
So I would have to get like a different screen for my trim bin, or I'd have to get a set of screens, and then I'd have to have somebody recommend which screens to get.
Yeah, I bought a set of screens when I started this grow, so I don't know if they're any good or not, but we'll find out in a couple weeks when this bitch is done. So
yeah,
but sure. I mean, I get longer in that because it's got to dry, right? I mean, if you're gonna dry sift it, you want it pretty dry, so maybe longer than a few weeks. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure they'll sift pretty nice because when I've done it before, they just, after being in a grocery bag for, well, looks like you got some screens right there. Which ones do you have, Broly?
This was like an Amazon trim Trim tray. It's just one little. I'm not even sure what the micron is.
I've seen Canuck Grows. You guys know that Canadian guy that the Canuck Grows or something?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's some fire.
So where he buys some screens, and I'm not sure if they're full screens or not. Like he kicks. Like when I've seen him, I said,
I've got a set of. I got a 2 foot by 3 foot set. I got a 4 screen set out in the garage. But it's been a couple of years since I touched it. I use it to like separate seeds.
you have your plant, use all 4 screens.
Yeah, the one I did do it, I used all 4, and I can't remember how it all shook out, what I did with it. I smoked it. I think I lost one of the balls. Like, nothing memorable. It was some hash for sure. It was nice. But I definitely lost a ball. I'm pretty sure I lost. I don't know if it was like an ounce or what the. I fucking lost one. I just remembered. Now I'm pissed.
Well, you're always losing on hash. It's just to the part to do it to make sense or do it out of love. You know, because I'll watch something that will only do 1 or 1.5%. You know.
If you're buying,
I'm a home grower. If I want that flavor, I want that flavor. You know.
Buzz, you got the keys or what?
I can.
I'm gonna dip if you want to keep her running here. I gotta get up with the kids there, and then tomorrow the next day I gotta drive early and shit. So I gotta try to maintain somewhat of a normal schedule for the next.
yeah,
I'm there. I took fucking sleeping medication. It's 2:00, and I can't believe I'm still.
I gotta roll out soon too because it's 12 a.m. here, and I still got an hour and a half drive home.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. here. I think Corey
Yeah,
did.
yeah, I'm right there with you.
Thanks,
Sounds like
everybody.
Okay, well, I guess we're shutting her down then.
But I don't got no school tomorrow. They can have brunch. Fuck 'em. I shouldn't say that in light of the conversation we had, but they'll get a good breakfast. I can't say that.
Well, we will reconvene.
Yeah,
Do
fucking.
this again.
It was great.
Real shit was spoken. Thanks for opening up, Gorski. Yeah,
Appreciate it. Hey, thanks so much.
everybody be thankful for the minute you got.